Welcome back to Eleren. When we last joined the Kingsmen, the party had successfully prevented the demise of resistance fighter Rizan and their new companion Jamba of Jamida, a far-off island to the west with ties to the party's past. They learned of an item stolen by a mute and now blind thief, the Kitab al-Azal, or Tome of Shadows, Book of Darkness Coming. A passage in Sylus's dream he remembers sometime earlier. After a generous offer to the Temple of Thoth, unlocking a boon in the form of a formal library where a sage might learn secrets both miraculous and mysterious, they found that other copies of this book exist, perhaps even in the neighboring city of Alim. Let me set the scene for you. Entering the Righteous Spore, you find Mariele sitting with Yazid, Miller, and the blonde resistance member, Generva, who is recounting a story or passing on some other important pieces of information. Mariele looks to the party as you enter the room and calls out, "Sylus, you may want to hear this," and she waves you over.
I go over.
And as you arrive, Mariele nods and she looks to Generva. "I'm sorry, could you please start again?" And Generva, a bit soot-covered, recounts her story. "After creating the diversion, we made our way south. Some of those mercenaries on our heels. We evaded them for many minutes, but ended up being cornered between the darkness of the dome and a couple soldiers. You remember Samana Kiran, the one with the long hair and the braid on the platform?
Yep.
She was with me, and she tried to pass the dark dome, but she couldn't. I told her not to touch it, but she did anyway. She said it sounded like beautiful and dark, melancholy music when her hand rested upon it. We then turned to face the soldiers, and during the fray I was able to make my escape, but she was not so lucky. I came back here as soon as I found it safe, thinking someone might need to hear this information. And that's where we pick up this evening. Kingsmen, adventure awaits. What would you like to do?"
Well, I do believe we decided we were gonna go down into the depths, I think.
And go after Killian.
Well, there was two ways in, right? We talked about going up on top of the tower and trying to do a rescue mission, but I don't know. That seemed to be from every angle a suicide mission, as we say. So, wasn't there talk of a way in from where y'all were being held down there in the depths?
They said it was heavily guarded, many miles of tunnels underneath the Tor.
We have a heavily guarded miles of tunnels underneath the Tor, or the top of the Tor, where we drop in like ODSTs.
Or, I've been thinking about this with, if this book gave Azamala this much power, and there's more copies, maybe we don't try to take her copy, maybe we try to find our own.
Where would a copy like that be?
Well, they mentioned several spots where there might be copies.
Yeah, I believe,
There's a library in Alim, was one of them.
yeah, that's where that Master Arrow made copies, was able to
We
make
could
his
check
copy.
with the thief and make sure where he stole the one he got.
Right, because we don't want to go to the one that he stole. That'd just be a waste of time. I agree.
Several copies. Sorry, I'm going over the conversation again in my mind. It's like I have it, right there in the front of my brain.
Well, you do have what some would call a videographic memory.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying we should send a message back to Cadlor to ask them, how much do you really like them on? On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it to you?
Yeah, for real.
Because Killian is kind of a spare prince.
Yeah, that's why you get two of them, right? Just in case you lose one.
Well, I kind of got the impression all the princes were spare.
Damn.
I mean, we know there are other copies in Alim.
Do we? We're
Yeah.
certain that's not where her copy came from.
It said that there are other copies. Multiple.
Well, if we're sure of that, I mean, assuming we can get out of the city.
Right. Look, as much as I want direct confrontation with Alzamala for it to be done with, I want to make sure that our first confrontation with her is our last. And we need to make sure we have as much strength as possible.
So when they say these tunnels are heavily guarded, how heavily are we talking?
Also, a very good place to die.
I get the impression you think everywhere is a great place to die. So
Well, except for old age.
I think he means a more likely place to happen.
Very few weak enemies. Not a good place to die. This worthy battle.
And we're not sure going. I mean, they're digging for something. What if all we find is people digging?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
well, if one of them is Killian, we get him back.
I don't know.
I have a feeling they would put Killian to dig. I think they have something bigger planned for him.
Yeah, was he the type of prince that is like, you know, a bit more bookish and everything? He wasn't the type that was like, practicing in the yard with the swordmaster, right? From my memory of what he looks like.
He was more like you, Sylus,
Yeah.
with less rapier.
Right. So it's the whole like, you don't put a frail person down there unless you're trying to kill them, you know. And I don't think they're trying to kill him. It seems
He has some bigger connection with all this.
exactly with the notes and everything. I completely agree.
Well, that's another good point. If we can get out of Thaman and back to Cataloi, I have a crystal ball waiting for me. And if I could scry on him, I might be able to find him.
True.
So
I think-
you guys can pop the bubble.
There's a few things we can try.
Well, I'm down for either plan. Well, what do you think we could try?
Well, there's always the tree travel spell.
Have we been to Alim? You said no, right? We going to Cataloi, and then we'd have to
Right.
travel to Alim.
We'd have to. It would have to be somewhere I've been before.
Right.
I think first we figure out how to get out of the city.
Like I said, my first shot would be magic. If that doesn't work, well, you can always try tunneling.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I mean, unless the spell creates this complete sphere around the city that goes subterranean.
We do not know, right? Has anybody? I look towards, the people we were just talking to, the one I got the message from. Did anyone dig down into the ground near the edge of the wall?
Generva says, I was afraid to touch it, but we didn't really have time to dig. We got
with the guards coming after
cornered.
you, right?
Yeah.
I'm thankful you made it out. I'm sorry about your friend. We tried to get you all out of there.
She smiles. Means a lot, Sylus. Thank you.
Of course. Well, I mean, I'm down for either. I mean, look, I've never been a misty cloud before, and the idea of flying through the air at unconscionable speeds means we could go to Cataloi and make our way to Alim rather quickly, or we can attempt to...
Yeah, I can only do each of those once a day.
You said, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tyler.
No, I was just going to say that's good to know. That means we'd have to travel a day towards Alim, and then the rest of the way we could do it. And then maybe take a day in Alim and then travel back here through another tree, right? So we're losing 2 to 3 days. Yeah.
Plus, however long it
Traveling
takes
around.
us to
Find the book.
find the book.
Agreed.
Probably should get as much information we have about where this book might be in Alim.
Yeah, that's a good point. Save us some time. Or we assault the tower. Or Tor. I keep calling it a tower. Tor.
How fast can that thing go? That spell? Windwalk?
It's like 65 miles per hour or something like that.
I calculated it out one time, but it's something like over 300 miles in 8 hours.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's about 200 miles to Alim, just based on 25-mile hexagons.
Yep. So we'd be able to get there in less than 8 hours.
So if we can get outside the dome without having to go to Cataloi, it'd probably be faster that way.
The problem seems to be passing through the barrier, and with the wind walking, we would be trying to pass through it, which might not work. The other is more of a teleportation sort of thing. You're not really going through anything.
And
Well-
this
You're going through a tree.
Going through a tree, but I'm saying, in a sense, we're
Right,
not passing through the barrier. We're kind of going around it in a sense. Unless the barrier can block magic transport as well, then we're screwed.
Yazid, you said your agent, she heard sad music when she touched the dome?
Generva says, yeah, she said, I told her not to touch it, but she said she did, and she kind of got a far-off look on her face and almost smiled in a sad sort of way. She said it was like beautifully sad music.
I mean, Sylus,
It
some of
reminds
your
me of the
magic
prince.
is musically based, right?
Yeah, that's true. But
Do you
we
think-
both knew our princely friend. That was the nature of his music. Whenever he got, magical with it.
Right. I mean, do you think you'd be able to try anything to try to maybe counteract the barrier a bit?
If we want to try that before, I mean, it's a good call, right? We could go to the edge of the dome, see if we can, move the earth a little bit, see if it goes underground, and if it does, then I can try and see how my magic interacts with it, given our past friend's account of what the experience was like, and then if I can't do it, then we have the tree or we got the assault. Now I'm getting the feeling we're not feeling the assault anymore, really.
I look towards Jamba.
Jamba
While it is a good
sharpening his sword.
While it is a good day to die, I feel like we have a bit more to do. So, if we can gather some more strength before we assault the Tor.
Goal is to save the city, right?
Right, but how time sensitive is that, right? Because we're talking about 2 to 3 days lost to travel if we've got to use the tree ways, and then however long it takes to find the copy of the book.
They're dying as slaves and prisoners. I don't know how much time. My buddy. How much time do you think we have?
Right. For every day, there's more loss of life.
Have we verified whether our thief friend stole the Takusareta Takasa version or the Alim version?
We should go find out.
We're not talking to that priest again, are we?
No,
I don't know. Can we afford to?
I don't think so. I'm broke.
I think we're trying to talk to the blind mute guy that we talked to
Mhm.
downstairs.
Yeah.
Well, three spots to get the book, and I'm pretty sure he didn't find it at the Lost Library of Thoth.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, then it would be the used to be lost library.
Alright, that should be speaking as Jason, but I was just wondering if we had verified that before we decide to cloud run to leave.
It's a good idea.
Why don't we go verify it?
So is the plan to have them take you back through the secret passageways to the Emerald's Order?
Yes.
Okay.
We want to ask the thief which copy, where did he steal his copy?
Okay. So Rajan and Generva's going to go with you. They lead you again through the back alleys into this nondescript door, and they push through. And you're taken through a labyrinthine network of tunnels that stairs descend and rise and turn, and you cross portions of the sewer. Before you know it, you pass through a door with what looks like two guys standing in the shadows. And again, you see the heavy-set man. Razan, you're back again, huh? And Razan says, that is right, Emerald. We're here to see our good friends there from last time. And he nods his head and continues to sip on some sweet-smelling wine. The guy with the eyes that look like Miller takes you through into the side passage that's sparsely furnished but neat, and the old man with his iron long gray hair and his eyes missing, he's laying on the cot there. Razan says, okay, want me to ask where he got the book from?
Yes, and if
please.
he knows if there's any other copies there.
So he reaches over and shakes the man a little bit. Friend, wake up. We have more questions. And the man groans and looks to you with loose folds of skin around his eyeless sockets and in his mute tongue, and he sits up. Where did you take that book from? And Razan hands him some dark paper with a piece of chalk, and he concentrates and begins to sweat a little bit as he's concentrating, and he writes some words on a piece of paper, and he turns it and he hands it back to Sylus.
All right, what does it say when I look at it?
He says, in the palace of the capital by the sleeping gnome.
So that would be Catalloy then.
That is correct.
Okay.
Do we know of any sleeping gnomes that in their time in the palace?
Fiddy can get kind of sleepy sometimes.
Yeah, other than Fiddy.
No.
Yeah, we also don't know how long ago this happened. You know what I mean?
Oh, well,
Like, did
actually,
he
it could have been Fiddy.
Dang.
He does sleep in the library quite a bit.
Well, shit.
Ask him if the sleeping gnome had a staff. And a
Were
bunch
there
of
was there bowls of goldfish around him?
All right.
Razan looks at you like, really? Which one? The goldfish or the staff?
I guess the goldfish would be, yeah.
Brend, were there goldfish like just laying there on the table, or
No,
Like,
in bowls.
In bowls.
were there goldfish in bowls near this?
Okay,
No.
hold on. Do y'all mean like the animal, the fish, or like the treat, the
Yes, the
crackers.
fish.
Okay.
No, the fish.
All right.
He takes the paper and flips it over to the back and starts to write, or he reaches out to you, Sylus, for the paper again.
Yep. I had it back.
He
Yep.
takes it and feels the surface and flips it over and starts writing again and hands it back to you, and it says, yes, spread out amongst the table.
Well, shit.
It was definitely Fiddy then. So he must have broken into the palace and gone into the library that Fiddy's been working in. So there was a copy right under our noses the entire time.
That's unfortunate.
Somebody make a history check. Well, all of you make a history check.
Oh, this
Yes,
is gonna
sir.
go good.
Except for you, Jamba. You weren't there. Sorry, buddy.
So you guys dropped my 9 is all good.
Come on, roll.
Is that a 20 for you, Sylus?
Yes, sir.
Alright, I'm just gonna use D&D Beyond.
You recall a dark tome in dark leather brought back from some demiplane of frost that Fiddy wanted.
Wow. There you go.
The one we went to go find got stolen? Son of a bitch. The one about the ether forges?
Yep. Well, it had information about the ether forges.
I don't
So
remember.
what? He might have just stolen this in the last couple of weeks.
I mean,
Sounds like
I
it.
don't know why I got the
Mhm.
idea that like this had happened a long time ago.
Well,
if it was the tome we had gotten, it must
It
have been
was-
recent.
Yeah.
could be a few weeks in game time terms.
Yeah, because I think that's what we did right before we came here.
Mm-hmm. Well, if it was our copy, now that we know we even had a copy, at least we know there should be more copies left in Alim if we can find this secret temple.
Do we want to go upstairs and ask the friendly friend we talked to earlier today?
The one that was charging us left and right?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I think we've heard quite enough from him already.
So does that mean we're going to Alim?
If we can find a way through the barrier, I think so.
Well, I'm down for a field trip.
Unless you all feel like it's a good day to die.
I would
Well-
appreciate it if you would all stop using that phrase. I'm going on the record. Every day is a bad day to die.
Don't say that so loud. Don't say that so loud next to Jamba.
Well, I don't know. Actually, if you believe that, that would explain a lot, Torin.
I still have things I need to do.
Just saying, you die a lot.
One time. Unconscious is not dead. All right? I died one time.
Not wrong.
Generva, would you like to take me to where we ended up? This is not far from here.
Yeah, maybe we should see this this barrier for ourselves.
It's a good call.
So that is a yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Razan, will you see if there's anybody out front? And she pulls her little beanie up over her blonde hair, and the few blonde locks stick out from underneath, above her forehead. Well, let's go. And
I use the hat of disguise to make myself appear like an elderly human, again with the white goatee and the scar over his left eye.
Razan puts on his red fez.
Pull out my- I pull out my- I pull out my dirty fez. Stuff my hair under it.
And Jamba redons the bag.
Okay.
I just turn my clothes into a cloak so nobody can see what I look like.
All right, then as you make your way out into the evening, Razan moves from building to building, place to place. It looks like there's twice as many guards that were here at some point. In fact, now you see large men in full black plate mail with large great swords scabbarded across their back, with these tall tower shields. Every few groups that you see, there's one of these people with them. Jamba, you know these as captains.
Ooh.
But it seems Razan knows the streets really well. This area is relatively deserted on the south side. Move from building to building, alley to alley, and before long, you make your way to the edge of town. The place is all but deserted. Passing beneath an archway, you follow one of the many broken paths that lead out of town. And the dark canopy that covers the city in its shadowy tendrils meets the ground at the end of the path. And Generva says, "That's where we stood," and she put her hand right there where the path is, just on the edge.
Side note, I gotta say, Foundry adding the sounds for the rolls for GM rolls, even though we can't see them,
Messed
really
up.
adds to the anxiety, like you're playing in
Yeah.
person. Well
Yep. It's good. It's good stuff.
done.
It's a special soundtrack.
Yep.
I mean, I don't really know too much about magic. I mean,
Hey, I'm intuitive, so
I don't know. I feel I get my power more through my determination and devotion to Tempest. So
Well, I guess that's me taking a look.
What would you like to do?
I'm just trying to take a look at this dome, see if I can detect what the hell it is or how it's made up. Is that a investigation or arcane?
Are you going to go up to the dome? You guys are standing about 10 feet off.
Yeah, I'm gonna get close and
Okay. Make a perception
I'm
check.
gonna. Oh, all right. Super good at this.
oh, so
Yeah.
close to being a 19.
Yeah, that's a 5.
It's quiet.
Anybody have a shovel?
what's the ground like?
Yeah, it's just stone, dirt.
Broken cobblestones with a short wall. And just outside the wall, the dome meets with the ground.
Yeah, are we like out in the open here? Is this obvious where we're standing?
You're standing in the pathway that leads out of town. There's not a lot of people around, but there are people around, and Razan led you through between the passages of guards. You imagine that a guard will be along here at some point, at least just to check the gate.
I mean, if we're gonna try to figure out something, we better do it fast.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna take my 25-pound chest that I have in my inventory for some reason, and I'm gonna throw it at the wall.
Okay. As you take this chest out, 25 pounds, and you throw it at the wall, the darkness, it doesn't seem to give, and there's a thunk as it hits. But Sylus, you see something very similar to the notes you witnessed a few nights ago as they left the Righteous Boar and floated into the sky. Almost fade into view and then fade slowly away where the chest hit the wall or the dome.
As if the whole thing is a surface that's creating physical or arcane manifestation of music.
What was that, Sylus?
That's interesting. Nothing. Hold on a sec, and I'm just gonna walk up, touch the wall.
You can write in your character sheet the opening for the Shadow Song. And you touch it and you hear the same sad song that Kieran had played. And there's soft words of a husky feminine voice that fills your mind. Voice you've heard before. Sylus, play me your sad song.
I remove my hand from the wall. Well, I'm hearing the same music that our princely friend played, and the voice from my dream has once again spoken in my head as I touch the wall. So that's something.
You remember the music?
Yeah, no. I don't forget music. Music is a part of life. Wow. All right. Well, I guess I can try. It asked me to play a sad song, and maybe I can try and accompany the music the way I did with our abducted friend.
So you learned what was called the opening of the Shadow Song.
Oh.
I'm not sure if you got that in my description, but yes, you learned how to play the opening.
Just by touching it?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I added that to my character sheet. Interesting. Well, according to my inventory, I possess bagpipes, a flute, a lute. I probably use the lute. It's gonna get less eyes on us than the bagpipes.
Bagpipes are nothing.
No, it just doesn't come out the same. We're not on the desert of Arrakis, so that's not gonna make much sense. And I'm gonna play the beginning of the Song of Shadow on the lute in front of the wall to see what happens.
All right. And as you play the opening, an opening appears in the dome, and you see the desert before you, the night sky above you.
Well then,
Let's go.
everybody through.
Yep. Torin jogs through.
Razan
Yeah, follow him.
looks to you, Jamba. Good luck. We will see you back here at some time. And Generva's marveling at Sylus and this dome, and Razan tugs on her elbow a little bit. Come, we must go. There's another patrol due here.
Before they leave, I say, all right, Ian, come back here in a week, and if this dome doesn't open in a week, then get back to safety. But it might take us about that long. If you're not here when we get back, if we get back early, we'll find you. Okay?
Should we just get every musician in town and you teach them the song?
And I don't know if it'll work for every musician.
Could I take the time to write the beginning of the Song of Shadow on some parchment and give it to them and see if they can get other people to try and recreate this?
Let's do a quick test. I'll pull out my flute and you teach it to me, and I'll try to learn it.
Okay,
Then
we can do that on the other side. So
see if
Why
it
don't we
does
do that
anything
on the
for me.
other side? Yeah.
Yeah,
As
let's
the
get-
guards are coming.
Mhm.
Exactly. So we say goodbye. They go. We get on the other side, and then we have this conversation about like, hey, let's see if I can teach it to you because that's a good idea.
Okay.
And I try and teach the beginning of the Song of Shadow.
Roll me a charisma check. Just your charisma plus proficiency.
Myself?
No. Caliban, I'm sorry.
Oh, jeez.
That's pretty
Oh,
good.
shit.
Look at that son of a bitch. Look at that.
So
Plus proficiency. Nice.
Sylus starts to walk you through the steps of it, and he's trying to play along with you, but the song is extremely difficult to know, and
Still not good enough.
he's able to play the notes, but has no effect on this dark dome.
All right. Well, I'm glad we figured that out. Good playing, by the way. I didn't even know you played.
Yeah. It was the house band at our in our tavern.
I did not know that. That's awesome. All right, well, you've seen me and the Prince play. If you ever feel like stretching your fingers, you let me know. But we are out, so you can. Okay. Are we gonna be clouds now?
I can't do it till tomorrow.
Well, that would have been good to know.
I
At
can always
this
start
part,
walking.
yeah. What does it look like on the other side of this dome here? Is this like a fairly recognizable location that we'll be able to come back to, or should we leave a marker?
All the roads lead through into the city. The road north goes across the bridge to Cataloi. The road south goes to Egra, across the desert. There's a small path that leads along the coast that goes south.
So there's like a crossroad right here.
This is definitely anybody who travels from the capital south would usually pass by or through Thamon.
All right.
So are we going to the capital, or are we just going to go along the river? I mean,
Yeah.
the road seems to be through the capital.
Let's head towards Amon, which means we're going into the desert, right?
If you want to head towards Alim,
Yeah,
Alim's on the
Alim.
other side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're probably heading for that thing called Bridge.
Yeah, maybe towards Obsidian Bridge, and then we just walk in that direction. And then once we wake up tomorrow morning, we've traveled some of the distance towards Alim anyway.
okay. So it's approximately like 9 p.m. at night. Your sleep schedule is kind of messed up since you got to sleep at about
right.
8 a.m. that one day. You still
Yeah.
have some time. Probably another good 4 hours before you want to make camp.
Yeah, I think we should try to get a little bit further from the city. I don't know if they have. I'd assume they'd be able to get their own people through the barrier, so maybe they have patrols on the outside as well.
Yeah, we do not know. That's a good call. We should get moving.
Okay. As you move into the night, you hear the howling of wolves, and the desert coyote that you're used to hearing, having camped in this desert several times with your escort, your guide to the fire forge. You make your way into the desert. It's quiet after about 4 hours. Do you guys want to find a place to camp or continue it through the evening?
Oh, probably
We're gonna have to
can't-
rest at some point. So
Yeah.
Right. Should we find a defensible place to hang out until we actually get tired enough to sleep?
But
That's
since
always
we're going
wise.
straight to sleep, I can make any place defensible.
Oh, right.
I can put a stone wall around us.
I forget how magical y'all are. I mean, I just opened a door in a shadow dome with my loot, but it's different kinds of magic.
Yeah, I think maybe we find somewhere defensible and we add the stone wall.
Yeah,
Double-
I
double
like
it up.
that idea.
All right, anybody give me a survival check to find a nice place that's on the leeward side of some dome or otherwise.
It will help Caliban search for an area.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, you're easily able to find something that is up against the leeward side of a dune, keeps the wind at bay a little bit. Not a problem. What would you like to do? The late morning hours are yours.
Well, I mean,
Let me take a long rest
yeah.
on my character sheet.
So then, we should set up the stone wall if you can do that, and maybe give us
Yeah, take me
some
10
cover.
minutes.
Some cover as well, so that way we're out of the sun.
Well, it's just a wall. There's no roof to it.
Well, can you make it like taller on one side so we can stay out of the sun?
I can make 10 by 20 panels. So yeah,
All right.
I'll spend 10 minutes casting a wall of stone around us. I'll leave a gap so we can get out in the morning.
Okay. Jamba, roll me a d20. Very good. After 10 minutes, the stone walls go up without issue. Is anybody going to take a watch, or you guys just going to lock yourself in?
Like I said, if I make it a complete circle, then we have no way out in the morning, because the walls are permanent now. But if I concentrate for 10 minutes, the wall becomes permanent.
Okay.
Nice.
But you can
So
break through it, right?
Unless we want to, yeah, because I made it 20 feet tall. It's only 3 inches thick, so we could bash our way out of it, I suppose.
Well, I mean, I could just make us a tiny hut.
You knew how to do that all along. I'm making
said
a
it's-
frickin' wall over here, and you're making a little tiny hut behind me, and you didn't tell me.
No, I was just admiring. I've never seen anybody make a wall like that before. It was incredible. I didn't want to steal your thunder.
Yeah, you literally saw me do this like last week.
It's a thing of beauty, really.
Wait, we have a hut?
Yeah, I can make a hut
So why do we have a wall?
just because walls are cool.
But now they gotta get through the wall and the hut.
Yeah, it's impressive. Look, they're gonna see the wall and be like, "Oh shit, what's in there?" And they, get through it or break through it or climb over it or go through that little gap that you left, and then they think they've succeeded, and then there's just a opaque dome the same color as the walls and the sand, and what do they do after that?
Well, it's not a total waste. I mean, this is the beginning of my desert house.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is a great place for a home.
The hut is up. The walls are reinforced. Are you going to... Is anybody going to be taking a rest? Or are you guys just going to knock out in the hut? Or a watch? Or are you just going to knock out in the hut?
I'll probably take first watch just because it takes me a little while to get to sleep. So
Yeah.
Okay. You can roll me a perception check there, Torin.
And we can see from through the hut. They just can't see in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're...
that's a 5.
Takes you
Roll
some
like
time to
me.
fall asleep, but the watch goes by without issue. You
All right.
can turn in for the evening.
I'll take a watch, especially. I'll probably take third watch because at a certain point the dome goes down after 8 hours, and I would have to recast it.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it. Well, do we wake up well rested and ready for the day, or do we have friends?
Is somebody taking a watch?
I'll take the second watch.
Okay, give me a perception check. Oh, that's pretty good.
Nice.
About midway through your watch, you hear the thud, like if somebody's or something's banging on the cement wall. The stone wall, excuse me. It lasts for about 5 minutes and then goes quiet again. Not going to investigate? You're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Take those away.
Yeah, it doesn't continue to happen, and your watch goes by without issue. You guys could take a long rest, wake up in the early afternoon hours of the next day. The hut disappears, but the stone walls do not. What would you like to do?
Oh, it is a thing of beauty, your stone wall, I gotta say.
Do we break wall now?
Yeah, I made it in complete circles. I knew you'd want to smash something early in the morning. So
Good way to start your day.
Maybe it's better we don't leave it up if people are wondering why a stone wall suddenly appeared in the middle
well,
of
it's
the night.
part of the feature is like it'll freak everybody out. They'll go,
Right.
where did that wall come from?
It'll be a favorite place for geocachers.
4 walls, 1 for each of us. Take it a brace.
Oh, I'm not hitting the wall. You knock yourself out.
And he doesn't mean literally try to knock yourself out. You know what? Never mind.
Jamba just starts punching the wall.
As soon as he starts punching a wall, I turn around and I start eldritch blasting the wall across the way to try and beat him.
Yeah, you'll beat Jamba before he is able to blow a hole in the
punching,
wall.
and you hear behind you just eldritch blast, eldritch blast, eldritch blast.
Well, is everyone satisfied now? We gotten that out of our system.
Nothing wrong with a bit of fun in the morning.
New daily ritual.
Next time I'll cast enlarge on you, and I think your punches will get a little extra stronger.
I may need it to keep up with you. You're much stronger than I expected.
Well, magic's a little different, but I hear you. Well, I believe we can turn into mist, which actually makes me wonder here, Caliban, why we needed to break the walls in the first place, because we could just turn into mist and then fly out of here.
That's a good point.
You just
What'd you
wanted to
guys
see
do
us
to my
break some
beautiful,
stuff?
beautiful wall?
Apologies.
Okay, everybody ready? 'Cause
Not really.
by the way, we're not going to be able to talk or anything while we're doing this.
Wait, who are we following then?
How do I know where to go?
Well, Alim's down the river, right? So I think we just fly along the river.
That's
Should
a
we
good
pick
point.
one person to follow? Maybe you, Caliban. You have the best eyesight.
Yeah,
Sure, why not?
that is a good point. Can we speak to each other while with these clouds? Like,
Nope.
how does? Okay, that's good to know. And how long does it take to become ourselves again?
A minute.
Oh, so we need to find like a safe place to do that then.
That's somewhere outside the city, I'm assuming.
Makes sense.
How long does this spell last?
8 hours.
Oh, okay. But we'll definitely get there before.
Yeah, apparently if we're dashing, we can cover 545 miles in 8 hours.
Yep, that's what I got.
But we can get there in less than 8 hours.
For Johnson's calculation, it should take 3 days. So we're just gonna fly until.
Yeah.
I'll fly
How many
until
miles? Jabba's like, how many miles? One too many.
Fly.
More than you have fingers and toes, Jamba. More than you have fingers and toes.
If for any reason we need to stop, just kind of, wave around in some weird way, or just land. Just land, and that'll tell the rest of us you want to land.
All
All
right,
right.
here we go.
And I
Hey.
spend a minute, and I turn us all into a bunch of clouds.
You become mist on the desert in the late fall, Eleren, and head towards the river, and you follow it along for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, literally flying as mist. And on the 5th hour, you see what looks like a legionary outpost now built into some type of city. The layout's not unlike the first city you experienced in Eleren, the town of Lindenson, though it's not nearly as refined. What would you like to do?
I suppose I will lead us towards that place.
Yep. You, in the distance, see it,
Land,
and
I
it
don't know. couple of
approaches
miles.
quickly as you're traveling so quickly. You land outside of it. It's relatively small, and you walk on the main road that leads to the front gates, and the palisades are there. And it seems that any of the previous days' events are relatively forgotten, and you find legionnaires and merchants and townspeople completely oblivious to the terror you've been experiencing for the last several days, if not a week. And it's quiet, and people smile and greet you as they go about their day.
How many hours were we traveling?
4.5.
5.
4.5,
5.
5. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Yeah, 4.5, 5 hours.
So can we turn back and forth at will with this
Yes.
spell? Or?
Yep.
Yes, you can.
Interesting.
While
Okay.
it's still in effect, yeah.
So
Another
if we
3 hours.
if we need to if we want to maybe search around the city as a mist, it'd be a little more inconspicuous. But okay.
It's that change time though. 1 minute either way, and you're incapacitated during the time.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Well, hell, impressive, Caliban. Well, let's find the book.
So where do we think a hidden library, secret library, might be?
Maybe should we ask if they have any temples of Thoth here?
Oh yeah, we'll find somebody else to fleece it.
Yeah. Get your pocketbooks ready.
It's expensive, but at least so far the information has been useful.
Oh my God, we were traveling 600 feet per 6 seconds because we can only dash. Sorry, I just realized that. Super fast.
Only 100 feet a second.
Yeah, no big deal. No big deal.
I mean, traveling as mist does take a lot out of you, so no worry.
Definitely. You just lose all weight.
So you're just going to ask the town folk, ask one of the legionnaires, just wander the city, or the town. What would you like to do?
We'll see if we can find a. I imagine there's a place where the locals sell stuff, like a market, and
Yeah.
see if we can talk to people and see what temples are available in the city.
As you head further into the city, you come to the town square. Very similar layout to Yadawiyah. There's the large fountain in the center of the square with pop-up stands all around it and people hawking their wares as if nothing else is happening in the town. What is on their mind is what's in front of them, and they twisty bread, one lady yells out in
Orin
in
immediately
Cataloyan.
stops.
Yeah.
And people, potions, and some other people, get your armor here. So there's a lot of people selling a lot of different things here.
Oh, don't we
Armor
need
potions.
potions? Yeah, don't we need
Yeah, no,
potions?
No, we're buying twisty bread.
Oh, well, twisty bread and potions.
Well, yeah, Twisty Bread definitely has magical healing properties.
We will first stop and get some twisty bread, then go make our way over to the potion stall.
You walk up and she smiles. The lady, the person there, who is female from Catal, long hair, braided, she says, "Good day" in Cataloyan. You understand that, Sylus. Could I offer you some twisty bread? It's sweet and savory, little spicy.
I mean, how could I say no to that?
Yeah, you had me at Twisty Bread.
One
Yep.
for your friend? One for each of you? Two for each of you, even better.
Well, I mean that's a damn good question. Everybody wants some or multiple? I mean, maybe one for now, one for the road for each of us.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Jamba, have you had twisty bread?
They sell that in Thamon.
Nope.
First time.
You had bread that made your stomach twist, but when you were down in the digging, but other than that, no.
Yeah, that probably was a little different.
Yeah.
No, this would be a first.
Well, it is a special thing, and I'm glad that we can be here while you experience this for the first time.
She passes out 4 pieces to each of you in this paper / what look like cactus wrappings. She hands each one and she says, 4 copper, please.
How much gold do I have? I give her silver because I do not have any copper pieces.
Oh, you want 2? I can give you 2.
So it's 4 copper pieces for 1.
4 copper pieces for 4.
For 4, then yes, I'll give her a silver and get 2 for each of us, so that way we each have 1 for the road, and tell her to keep the rest.
And she smiles. Oh, thank you, as she wraps up your twisty bread and hands it to you. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yes, we are new to the city. I don't know if that's obvious, but we were wondering what kind of temples y'all have here, and which gods have a presence in the city.
Oh, of course. The temple district is there. You have Horus Ra. You have Temple of Thoth. You have the Temple of Anubis. The typical gods.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Can you point us in the direction of the temple district, and also Do you happen to know anybody that sells potions? Because we are definitely potionless.
My cousin over there, their name is Tahu. You see him there? He's got the short cropped hair. He always likes to wear the bright colors. He says people, go to him because he's wearing the bright colors. Tahu,
It does draw the eye. It does draw the eye. That is for sure.
He sells potions of all kinds.
Well, you've been incredibly helpful. I will make sure. John, but you got a second one there. Do you want more?
How much bread in this sword?
We don't. Wait, you don't need your.
I have 2 swords. I don't have coin. I need more bread.
Okay, well we can sell some stuff while we're here. We can make a stop. How much bread do you want, Jamba? You know what? I give her 2 silver and I say, can you give him 10 bread for the road?
Her eyes get really big. Of course, here, let me. I can make a couple more if you wait just a minute. I have 6 here.
Yeah, no. Take your time. I don't want you to be completely out of stock because other customers might come by. So why don't you make some more? Jamba can eat the other one that he had ready, and after we're done talking to your colorful cousin, we'll come back and get the rest for you. How's that sound?
Oh, that would be fantastic. And she starts to press on the foot bellows that heats up this small, what looks like kettle full of some kind of oil, and it starts to bubble, and she twists the bread around. It's pretty articulate the way she twists the bread, and then it comes perfect every time, and she puts it on the end of what would be a shish kebab or a stick for marshmallows, and she drops it in there one by one. Okay, come back and I will have it ready for you.
Yeah. I give her the silver coin, pay in advance, so we'll be back, and then I flip the other silver into the little tip jar, and then we head over to the potion vendor.
All right. You head over to her cousin named Tahu. Welcome, friends from faraway lands. I am Tahu, your potion peddler, your vitality vendor. Yeah, and he goes on about 10 times. Can I interest you, my handsome man, in a love potion? And he's looking at Caliban. Your blue will lend to the fiery love of this potion here. It is a filter of love.
That's
Any
okay.
man or woman will fall madly in love with you till the end of time. No? What about you, my brooding friend?
Yeah, I depend on my natural charm. That's all I need. Everyone already falls in love with me.
Oh.
That is true. He's a heartbreaker.
How about you, my brooding friend? And he looks towards Torin. Make any princess in the lands fall deeply in love with you.
You see one of Silas's eyebrows go way up at the mention of princesses and Torin in love.
Torin has actually been kind of spacey this entire morning. Probably didn't sleep well. I'm sorry. Yes, we need potions.
I have a filter of love that would make any princess of the land fall in love with you, Outlander.
Does it come with a stab back guarantee?
No. No. Mm-mm. I'm gonna go check on how the twisty bread is doing, and Torin walks off.
Was it something I said, or is he not into princesses? Maybe I should have said prince, huh?
No, it's a bit of an inside joke. Do you have potions of the healing variety?
Oh, of course. We have the greatest potions in the land. I only have a limited stock, so they're a little bit more expensive than you might be used to. But my inventory is yours for the right price. In fact, if you commission some, I can sell them at the normal price. It just might take me a little while to make them, you understand?
How long?
Yeah, also, how many do you have right now?
As he pulls a small case or pouch, satchel, and opens up, and you see what look like 4 small potions of healing and 2 medium-sized potions of healing. I have 4 of these small ones. Maybe not good for your big friend there, but maybe these bigger ones will work better for him. Bigger percentage of boosts, shall I say.
How much each for the small, and then how much for the large each?
The very reasonable price of 100 gold for the small. And let me look up what the price is. Double what the regular moderate healing potion is. Is it moderate healing potion? Greater. Oh, for normal prices. So he says 200 for these larger ones. So you can
Hey,
take
Rich, for
all
my
of them
blood.
for 400 and then another 800 total.
I'm sorry. How much for all of them?
800 gold pieces for all of them. Nobody makes the potions like Tahu the Great.
Okay.
Insight back.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, fine. I'll insight check that claim.
Sure. Make me an insight check.
That wasn't a pigeon. That was literally just roaring over by the
Yeah, you
the
heard
twisty
it from the
going.
Twisty Bread stand.
He's charging you more than they're normally worth, but he doesn't have any more, so he's going to charge you this price.
Right. I'm gonna try and persuade this gentleman to give us a discount at the very least on the promise of commission. So I'm gonna lean over to him and say, "Look, friend. We were led over here by your nice cousin over there, Twisty Bread Salesman, which, by the way, amazing bread. We're definitely going to be buying more of that, probably on the morrow and for the rest of the day that we're here. But these are the last of your potions, right? So after that, you're not going to have any more. You spoke about commissions, right? So if we were to purchase all of these off you, but then also pay the commission more because we may need more after this. If you're the only, dog and pony show in town, we want to make sure that you have more in stock when we need it. Maybe we get a discount on these and then help, invest in future potions. How do you feel about that?
Roll a persuasion check, and the DC is going to be 21. You probably see that roll because it's under your name, but if you don't, even better. Oh, that sounds like a fantastic bargain. Will you pay half for the commissions up front so I can gather these supplies? Some of them in the desert, like the desert lily, are very hard to come by. I'm sure you understand.
Oh no, I completely do. How much would you need for the commission, and then what would be? So how about we give you the 800, and then would that cover the commission for future potions as well? And so that way the future ones would be less?
He thinks about it and says, I can give you the 800 for here, and then I can give you, let's say, he's doing the mental math in his head, 3 potions of the small variety and 3 more of these larger variety, and that will cover it.
Sounds good to me.
800 for all the ones he has plus the other 6.
Yeah,
Yes.
plus another 6.
Oh, but, well, Tahu is a man of his word? Very well. At least I know I can feed my family for the next few days, and then perhaps into the next month. You will be back soon, of course.
No, yeah. We'll definitely be back on the morrow. I don't imagine we will. I'll look over at Calvin. I don't imagine we'll be getting our business done here in a day, right? We might be here another 2 or so. Best case scenario, you'll see us in the morning.
I'm not sure it's going to be available in the morning. I have to go out into the desert, travel to the
Understand.
end of the river. It might take me a little while to create these for you. Say
All
a
right.
week at the end, but 1 second. And he whistles and he says, Metchin! And you see this little boy coming, and he says in Cataloyan, all right, these gentlemen here, these outlanders here, they're going to go ahead and pay for stuff in advance to go out and get some of the regular stuff from our garden. Then you need to go out to the hills on the south side of town and pick up some herbs along the river, and then you and I can go out later this evening to the hills. That is a half day away. Okay? Yes, Father. And he runs off. Okay, we
All
will
right.
gather the herbs as soon as we can, but I can't promise you that they will be ready in the morning.
No. I completely understand. And then Silas says, "Let me just give you that 800." And then Silas does the whole thing like patting patting his chest and then his sides like he's lost his wallet, and then he looks over at Caliban.
Oh, am I funding this entire operation?
I mean, you are the bank, if you would.
Fine. I'll give him 80 platinum.
His eyes go wide.
So casual.
Yeah, good luck breaking that down.
Okay, well, good thing I don't owe you any change. All right, I'm going to close up for the day and we'll head out early to get those herbs for you. Jen, hold on, I'm coming. And he passes you over the entire pouch that has these potions in their own fitted, padded area. Hold on to that. I will see you soon. And he starts
So
folding
we got
up
4
his
regulars and what?
2 graders.
And 2
I'm gonna put a hand on his shoulder and in Catalonian, I'm gonna say, all right now, you and your son, you be safe out there, all right? And you need our help or anything, you can find us. We'll be in the city for a while. We don't want you guys, getting hurt on our account, all right?
That is very kind of you, but he gestures around. There are many legionnaires. This is, after all, an outpost in the desert, so many legionnaires who travel and up and down the river to the capital, and some of them travel to the Inn of the 12 Chairs. There'll be plenty of people. Worry not. It just might take me a little bit longer. It's, for some reason, the roots that normally grow here are very sparse. It just takes a long time to find them. But I appreciate the kind words, my friend.
Of course. Be safe. We'll see you soon.
Well, best of luck. As he's packing up the rest of his stuff. I appreciate the kind words. Hope to see you soon. Thank you so much. Remember, Tahu Trader is the best trader around. Don't forget. Hey, have you had some twisty bread? My cousin over there, she makes the fine twisty bread. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I said she sent us over here. That's why we came your direction in the first place. We're going to go back. She's making more for us. Good talking to you. Be safe. And then I'll make my way to go to the twisted bread.
Okay. And as you arrive, she's got everything packaged up, ready to go in a nice covering. It looks like almost a gift basket. Well, thank you. I saw you visited Tahu. I hope he took care of you.
You should prepare that we will probably, look, your cousin said it's going to take a week for him to make the potions. I look over at Caliban. I don't think we're going to leave the potions behind after paying for them. So
we can come back.
Oh, that's true. During our stay here at your lovely outpost, you just may want to have twisty bread prepared for our group, because we will be back. And that's not a threat. I'm just letting you know it is future commerce.
Oh, well, I appreciate. We will be here. I'm here every day, but I will make sure to make extra batter in the evening, so we have it for your big friend here.
In fact, do you have a chest or anything to put stuff in? Because I've got a chest burning a hole in my pocket.
I don't have a chest. No, I don't. Those are usually for. Are you a noble from a far-off land? Mostly nobles have the chests.
I know, right? I don't know how I got this thing or where it came from, but I do not want it. Would you like a chest to put things in?
Is it very heavy? Will it fit on my cart here?
It's 25 pounds. It can hold up to 300 pounds worth of stuff. 12 cubic feet.
I guess so. We can put it, Metjem, Tahu's boy, he's growing old. He's supposed to join the Legionnaire. Maybe they can use it as his footlocker.
There you go. I put the chest in her cart. It's empty.
Thank you. You will be most appreciative. I will be sure to pass it along as we are making Zabatter and he's out looking for the herbs. We make it in the same place. Maybe you should come by for dinner sometime.
That would be lovely, actually. Yeah, we'll catch back up with you. I appreciate the help and also warning us off of the water, the love potion. Wow, that is something. All right, well, we're gonna head over to the Temple District. It was good talking to you. Thank you again for Twisted Bread.
All right. May the light be with you.
With you.
And
How much? Go ahead.
How much what?
I was gonna say, how much were the potions?
How much were they? There were 800 total for 6 now and 6 later.
Caliban here. I'm assuming you for him. Here's 40 platinum.
Thank you.
Well, if we're giving money, I'm always accepting donations.
I'm sure you are, and I walk off.
Oh, that hurts, my liege.
you walk off towards the southern part of the town where the temple district is. You make your way to the Temple of Thoth, and you find a tall gray man with bright eyes. He's talking to some of the youngsters around and smiling all the while, watching them run to and fro as he's tending a small garden. Seeing you approach, he stands somewhat gingerly to greet you. Abbot Maketre Hatshepsut, at your service. And he gestures to two others similarly dressed to him and says, do you have any horses that my men can tend to, or anything you want us to take your belongings and set them in a secure area?
Would it be all right if we keep our things with us, actually?
Of course, of course. Well met. What brings you to Alim this day?
Well met. Yeah, we don't have horses. We flew. I was just actually wondering if we could be pointed to the Temple of Thoth. We had some questions of a knowledge nature.
You are here at the temple. I am abbot of the temple. What brings you here? How can I help you?
We're looking for, was it a lost library? Y'all?
He glances around to see if there's anybody either eavesdropping or nearby.
I'm asking Calvin because, I have a shitty memory. It was a lost library, right? Or was it a secret one?
That's a good question. How was it described? It was a secret temple library.
Of Thoth, right? Like we're in the right place?
Did it say of Thoth?
That was the intention, yes.
I'm going to be completely honest with you, Abbot. The city of Thamon is currently encapsulated in a dome of shadow, and we're on a quest to try and understand and fight this shadowy presence that has taken over the city. One item of import that we are looking for in our attempt to understand our enemy and to be able to combat this shadow presence is the Book of Shadows. And
he puts his hand up.
Okay.
Looks around. Please, follow me. And he heads into the front door. It's not really a temple. It looks like one of those small churches in a small town. Please, right this way. Right. And he leads you to his study.
All right. So I raise an eyebrow to my companions and follow.
You follow him into his study. And there's books everywhere. And he says, he gestures to a small, like a meeting table. Sits about 5 or 6 people, made of oak, in the corner of his study. Would you care for any spiced wine? As he casually walks his way over to what looks like a small, ever-burning fire that has a little bronze pot on it, steam rising from its tea-spout. It's freshly warmed.
I do not drink while I'm working. My companions might. Porn, Caliban, Jamba, are any thirsty for spiced wine?
Jamba gladly takes it for his dry from all of the bread he has eaten.
Yeah. And as you transfer from being mist to being in your regular flesh, you realize that as the sun's going down here in the interior of the Sare, it's relatively chilly. And he sets small wooden cups of steaming wine in front of those of you who want it, and aroma reminds you of a certain flower that grows wildly but sparingly in the desert.
So when he's got his back turned to me and he's doing this, I use my innate spell casting from my Eldritch Invocation to detect magic in the room really quickly.
Doesn't appear to be any magic in the room.
Okay, just checking real quick.
Actually, a pendant he's wearing is magical. enchantment magic.
Good to know. Good to know. So this is less for Jamba and more for Jason. When that happens, Silas's eyes go completely black with no iris, just black all the way through, and he like looks around the room, and then you look again, and his eyes are normal again.
Jabba understands this completely because he does the same thing.
His eyes go black.
Mhm.
No shit.
Yeah, no shit.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's
Torn was
his
Torn was about to
it's
down
his
the cup.
magic awareness. He just hasn't done it in front of you guys because he assumes you guys are more magical than he is.
Very cool. Very cool.
And as he's pouring the wines into these wooden cups, he turns and starts putting it in front of each of you who want the wine. Again, the aroma smells like the desert lily. And he sits down and crosses his legs. He's probably 65, 70 years old. He's been out here in the middle of the desert, and he's got great creases around the corner of his eyes and laugh lines. He sips on his wine, and he begins to speak, and his old voice is a bit scratchy. Old Errol did make a copy of the Kitab al-Azal. It was several years ago, not long before he passed on.
I'm sorry for your loss.
He lived well into his years. Let me tell you, the adventures we used to go on back at the time. Back in the days, we had some good times. He was a good friend. But to be honest, had you come here asking me for the same tome a month ago, I would have not even recognized the title. But recently, a traveler arrived asking to borrow the book. Seemed like a scholarly man. Offered to leave us several rare volumes in return. I saw no reason not to let him borrow the tome and take it with him.
Well, and you only had the single copy.
Yes, we just had the one copy. Errol wrote many
right.
copies, but he took some of them with him. He stands up and he moves over to his desk and he starts ruffling through his papers. Here we go. I wrote it down. Places the paper in front of you. Thin, quite stern-looking fellow. Passes you the piece of paper. Sylus.
I'll take a look. What does it say?
And lifting the scrap to one of the lanterns hung by a load-bearing beam, it says, Dareyeth Berevan of Thamon. And I'll copy that and put it in chat.
Of Thamon, the city we
Yes.
just left.
Yep.
Son of a bitch. That was how long ago was that? They said a month ago.
About a month ago. A little bit more than a month ago.
Well, I look at Caliban. It's a good thing we travel quickly, huh? Do you know if this gentleman left, like returned to his home, or if he stayed here to do his research?
He went back to Thamon. He said he was going to copy some excerpts. The dialect is not the best here. Excerpts from the book, and he would return it. And he said he would actually let us keep his rare tomes for trade, which is quite nice of him. I'm sorry I can't be more service for you, but perhaps you want to. You must be Outlanders. I can prepare some rooms for you. We don't have many acolytes nowadays. We're kind of the forgotten outpost here in the middle of the desert.
Right. Well, I'll look over at Caliban. Should we just head back in the morning then?
Can I get a read on this guy?
Yeah, give me an insight check.
If I was good at that, I would do it as well.
I'm not good at it. I'm just doing it.
He seems forthright, very, very kind, very polite.
I mean, he didn't charge us 500 gold for the information, so we're already a step ahead of.
Which makes me instantly suspicious.
Oh, that he's not charging us?
Yeah.
Seems like he's on the up and up.
So this guy he described, that sound like anyone we know?
Haven't met anybody like that. He does say that he didn't take his cowl down much, but he had a very thin, aquiline features, square jaw, very thin, wearing fine robes.
Did the thief look thin?
Yeah, the
Like
thief
that?
looked thin, but he had iron gray, black hair.
Right.
The guy will tell you his hair was blonde.
That thief was also a mute, so
Right, but he wasn't always a mute.
he wasn't always blind. Always a mute.
Yeah, they cut out his tongue so we wouldn't talk about it.
No, they cut out his eyes.
No, they cut
He
out
was
his
always
eyes.
mute.
Always a mute. Yes.
I'm tired.
So he said he left books in trade.
Yeah, he left some books about the Far East. Said he'd been there. Left some books, supposedly penned in the Southern Marches.
Suppose we wanted to take one of these books with us. What would it cost us?
His eyes go a little wide. Oh, these books are priceless. We were hoping to make a copy.
You haven't made any copies in a month?
Well, we've started, but the books are quite large, you understand.
Right.
And-
Right.
and
You know, we have access to an extensive library in the capital.
the capital in the capital of Cataloy.
In Cataloy. Yes. The Royal Library itself. We could bring you probably any book you wanted.
He says, "Oh, well, most of that is probably propaganda. I mean, you've heard of the war between Anubis and Horus Ra, right? That isn't actually accurate." "Oh, so you didn't know that?" "No, the war was between Set and Horus Ra. Anubis, he's just as very much like the Raven Queen in our area. He just sees the souls from on their journey down the river. But no, it wasn't Anubis. It was Set, and that Irsa Tarset. That's where he got his name, Tarset, from. The one of Set, or the chosen of Set, is what it means."
That's new information, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
I mean, that's the information that was spoiled last week in that via copy and paste. I didn't know
Yes,
you
it
guys
was.
Didn't know that.
right. Well, shit. So we're fighting Set. And it sounds like the book is back where we were. We just need to find this blonde-haired individual.
I wish I could be of more service, but like I said, you can stay here free of charge for the evening. I don't have many acolytes, which is why I can't copy the books as quickly as they might have. I'm a bit up in my years, you can understand.
Of course.
There's a temple to Anubis here, right?
It is. It's right next door. Or, well, I mean, next door. It's the next. See over there? And he points through a window. That dark building right there with the what look like wings at the top. Those Anubis, you can't miss it. It has the jackal standing out front guarding the gates to the afterlife. Well, that's what they call it.
Should we go make a visit?
Why? What do you have to do with Anubis?
Well, if the
There's-
war's between them and we're fighting a fight with one of them, maybe we can get some help.
And I'll kind of lean towards my friends more and say, we were told that the battle was between Anubis and Horus, not Set and Horus.
By who?
The entire time we were in the capital, the entire time we were fighting. Shit, I forgot his name. Out of character.
Nesumantu.
Nesumantu. Been a while. Nesumantu was apparently an acolyte of Anubis, was he not? That's why we were fighting those dogmen. He was the enemy against Horus Ra.
Interesting.
But now we're being told it's Set. Now there's a temple of Anubis just out in the open here.
Right. Do you think that was subterfuge from the beginning? Always following Set and just saying it was Anubis to throw us off the trail?
Or he could have just been misinformed. Nesamantu was from the capital.
Or was there a reason that the capital doesn't want us to find out about Set?
You're hoping for like an enemy of your enemy type situation here.
That was the only reason I brought it up, but I mean, we'd have to go speak to Horus then if that's the case, right? If it's Horus versus Set.
I don't know what to think. I'm just
No, it's a good point. It's a good point. All right, I cast darkness on the table, and then I just steal all this guy's stuff, and I run out because I can see magical darkness. I'm just kidding. That's an interesting point.
I mean, if we have time here, I mean, are we gonna come back to the city for our potions after a week?
I mean, look, I motioned to Caliban. If we have the ability to fly as we did, like traveling this distance is not going to be an issue. It's just going to be a day, right?
Right. It's an outing.
How long have we been in the city now?
As we've been
Approximately
walking
2
around
hours.
the city,
Okay.
are there any large trees in the city?
Here in the interior of the desert, there's cactus that grows. Not Nepalis or those giant cactuses, but let me see. No, it doesn't appear to be any large trees that you'd use to transport via plants here in the city. It's kind of it's clear of a lot of the foliage and fauna that typically grows around a city because of it being a converted outpost. They still keep it relatively clean.
Yeah,
Okay, just
they
checking.
wouldn't want big trees nearby because they would just block visibility. You also made a point of saying earlier, like the roots take forever to grow here, but there's something going on with the vegetation here.
Mm-hmm, correct.
Yeah, it'll just be like a day in, day out.
Which is incredible. Well, is there any check I could do to try and think about, like, if, I don't know, the relationship between Horus and Set? Like, if I know anything about that, and why there'd be a war there that we wouldn't know about that would be hidden by the capital?
You can make a religion or history check.
They are the same. Where's my character sheet? There it is. Nope.
Doesn't seem like it.
9.
I mean, do we want to go to the capital and let them know what's going on in Thamon? I mean, across the river from them before we head back, or do we want to just head back?
Well, yeah, I want to go back just because I want to pick up my crystal ball, which might come in handy.
That is a good point, and given how fast we move, we should be able to get to the city and then back to Thamon in a single day, right? Because my only concern is if we use your tree travel, then we'd have to travel by foot from Cataloi to Thamon. So I think we should fly.
Right.
That's
And
fine.
if we have to walk a little bit the rest of the way to Thamon, that's fine.
Right. Because you can only do one, you said, in a day?
Right.
Yeah. So I think flying would be better.
Do they have twisty bread in Cataloi?
I don't think we've had twisty bread in Cataloi.
A definite business opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Franchises.
Should we talk to them about setting up shop instead of joining the Legionnaires? For his son? Setting up a franchise?
Put a
Yeah.
word in, set them up in the upper district.
Put the boy in your chest. We shall take him with us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to 10 individuals. We can take them all.
I mean, the last time someone entrusted us with their son, it didn't exactly work out too well. In fact, that's literally the mess we're trying to sort out right now. So maybe let's not take any more people's children at this point.
Well, I was saying we take them all. We take the woman and the
Oh, that
The
is a
boy.
good point. If they all get killed, then we don't have to be responsible to anyone.
yeah. We can take them all. We don't have to worry about it. It's
agree
enough.
with this
There's
plan.
only 4 of us. We could charge people here in Alim to go to Cataloi and be like, hey, who wants to go?
We'll just do express
Express service.
Misty, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? We're giving up our adventuring days. We're just gonna have a travel
Cloud
company now.
Express.
Yeah.
As long as twisty bread is given every day. I'm okay
VIP
with it.
fast travel to Cataloi. From Cataloi to
Yeah. Anywhere within 8 hours of Cataloi, as the crow flies, 600 feet per, or 100 feet per second.
Actually, only 68 miles per hour.
Congratulations,
Kinda.
guys. We've created Eberron.
68 miles per hour is fast.
It's not as fast as you want it. Like, it's fast, but it's like, I've gone that fast before. Like,
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be like really fast.
No, but think about it. What in the world of D&D is that fast? Aside from like a dragon.
Still not fast. Dragon's still not that fast compared to that.
Nope.
In 8 hours, you can go 544 miles.
Hasted tabaxi monks.
That's huge.
But they have to rest every other turn. They can't dash.
Yeah.
That's a
They're very
burst
fast
of
for that.
speed.
They're very fast for those 6 seconds.
Yeah, they're sprinters, not marathons.
Okay, get me.
Just saying.
All right.
Toss me.
I'd like to maybe just head over to the Temple of Anubis real quick. If anyone wants to go.
Hey, why not?
Yeah,
Go.
we got time.
That's for these dogs.
The abbot with his fingers steepled, listening to your guys' conversation. A place will be here if you need it. I will make sure it is ready.
We appreciate it. And the wine.
Yeah, that's kind of.
We have some twisty bread if you'd like some.
No, thank you.
Stuff will kill you.
That's how you get the diabetes.
Bread is not so good for you. I will stick to the vegetables. Thank you.
It's fine for us because we travel, 100 feet per second. We need
Exactly.
the calories.
Exactly. Burn it off.
I do not plan on living very long with this group.
Yeah, you've made that very clear.
So Torin will down another cup of wine.
He sees you out and sees you on your way as you guys head northwest towards the Temple of Anubis. It's about 500 feet off. It's another smaller area, but it's more shape of a pyramid with jackals standing at attention before some simple wooden doors.
Torin will just open up the doors and walk in.
You open up the doors, and it's about 7:30ish right about now. You push the door open, and the sun has set because it's in the fall, approaching winter. And as the doors open, there's candles lit on each side, and the wind that comes through, the candles riffle and flex back and forth before resuming their standard wave in the evening air. And there's a large, what look like, altar up front, and it's relatively quiet. Nobody's in the I guess it would be audience area. You see doors, or at least open archways on the left and the right that lead back into a small area. You'd seem, looking at it from the outside, it seems like it would be a small area.
All right, no one's here. Let's stack it.
Do these the statues and iconography look similar to the minions of Nesimantu?
Yeah, they look like the jackals, these dogmen that they were called. Very, very similar.
So, do you think there's more than one god at play here, or somebody's lying and we're not sure who?
At this point, I assume everyone's lying.
Right.
It'd be a little odd that priest is randomly lying to us about such an obscure topic.
Right. But then why were we fighting the followers of Anubis?
Why were the followers of Anubis trying to take over?
Not a clue.
You think because there's a war happening between two, another's trying to take advantage of the situation, make a power play?
Makes sense. It's a good time. While both of your enemies weaken the other, you step in, take
Right.
advantage. I'm gonna burn a divine sense.
Divine
My eyes will
sense.
flare white for a moment.
Okay. You don't sense any entities of that type anywhere in the area.
Okay. Still gonna be on edge. I don't like this place.
Sure, it's dark on the inside. The only light is from the candles that are dark in color, and they flicker as the wind blows through some of the windows. The large statue sitting behind the altar of a very regal jackal, looking like almost a spitting image of Nesimantu in his dogman form. After a few moments, one of the men comes through the left-handed archway. This man's wearing dark robes. He's got his hood drawn back, and it looks like he's carrying some new candles to refresh some of the ones that are burnt low. And as he walks in, not expecting to see many people. Oh, good evening. Samir Zabah at your service. What can the caretakers of the souls do for you this evening?
Sylus raises an eyebrow and turns toward Torin, whose idea was to come here.
My friends and I are not from here, obviously, but well, most of my life I've found myself without divine guidance, you could say, and I feel myself drawn to your lord. I was just wondering, why doesn't Anubis have a higher place in the hierarchy here in Cataloi?
Do I believe my liege?
I mean, you guys have that conversation.
What's your passive insight?
14.
No, you know I'm lying.
Okay, I figure. It's just, Sylus pays attention to Torin and what he says and what he does, so he'd be like, what? But yeah, that makes sense.
A hierarchy here in the desert lands. Anubis may not be the most top ranked S tier deity, but he is in every place. He is the last in the line. As you pass through Anubis's gates into the River of Souls, he will always be there, whether he is first or he is last. Any city you find around here, well, any city that is not the capital, should have some kind of place for the people to honor their dead, their ancestors, the people who have gone before them.
Why would I want to make sure I'm not offending anyone. Why would it not be wise then to worship your lord in the capital?
Make me an insight check.
Anyone else want to help me out here?
I mean,
Yeah,
I'd be paying attention.
No.
I can help you.
And by help me out, I mean, like, I hope you're paying attention to this conversation that I'm having.
Yeah. I drift in and out.
This would be a good day to kill our enemies. Does that make you feel better, Caleb?
So, I am not one to speak of our great patrons who rule over this land and provide the bounties that we have here in Alim, so close to the capital. Perhaps you can ask them if you can get an audience with the royalty. I am not one to say, but I am here just to guide these souls in this area, this part of the desert, or the Sare, into the afterlife.
That seems a noble cause. Thank you for your time.
Anubis will see you at the end of your journey. May your journey be long. And he starts replacing the candles with newer candles.
Well, Caliban didn't roll, but did Sylus notice anything with his 18?
No, his whatchamacallit was higher.
Dang. Okay. Caliban, you said you were paying attention though?
Paying attention.
You were or you weren't?
I was.
Oh. Did you want to roll insight?
Sure, why not?
Fine, I'll roll the stupid dice in this stupid game.
He's hesitant to say anything to obvious outlanders that might implicate him as being not on board with those of royal blood in the capital.
Okay.
Yes. Hello, random people. Let me say something possibly treasonous to you.
Yeah. So I'm assuming we're having this conversation out of the temple. on the
Sure,
way
you
back.
as you make your way out,
as
and
we
he
leave.
yeah.
Yep.
continues to replace the older candles with newer candles. It's around 8
So the
p.m.
royal
dark in the evening. You find yourself a few dozen paces away from the Temple of Anubis in the Legionnaire outpost / town of Alim. What would you like to do?
Anything to do while we're here? Oh, can I get one of them potions, by the way? One of the little ones, in case I go down.
Yeah, we hadn't discussed that. I'm holding all the potions at the moment.
I'll take one.
I'll take a regular for now.
Well, I don't know, Torn. I think maybe you should take a greater.
A greater? All right, I'll add a greater.
I think this is my first
Anybody-
healing potion of the campaign.
Is there any?
It might be the second time I've given him out for sale.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Jamba, do you want a potion, healing, or greater?
Is it as tasty as Twisty Bread?
Not quite.
No, but it might keep you from dying. Now I know that's against your philosophy, but
It is pretty sweet.
It'll keep you fighting longer before you die.
Yes.
It'll
So
let you slay more of your enemies.
in campaigns where I campaign, where I run the campaign, where I'm the DM, canonically all healing potions taste like sweeter versions of Kool-Aid. So
Yeah, strawberry
Oh,
Kool-Aid,
yeah,
great
I
drink.
mean,
I
I don't know,
imagine
your boy Rick told you about me, but my household makes some. Not to
Mhm.
make any stereotypes, but my household makes some mighty sweet Kool-Aid already. So
there
Yep.
you go.
sweeter than that. Ooh.
Well, if you want the best tasting one, that's the most expensive potion.
I always imagine it tasted like, remember that like pink antibiotic liquid?
Gross.
Yep.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
Why?
I like that
It's
stuff.
more like strawberry.
Oh,
What is that? Strawberry soda. What is that called?
Fanta.
There you go.
Don't you want to? Don't you want to? Fanta.
Oh, the confusion.
so should we give the two frontliners the graders, and then the rest and then we can hold the regulars?
That sounds
Fine.
good.
Oh, we're on a tangent, DM. Is Netsumatsu alive in this world?
Nope.
No, he is dead.
You can
So
have
far
that
as we know.
conversation.
Look at that.
It only took 2 of us dying. Well, not during that fight, but during that dungeon.
Hmm. Alright, so Jamba's taking the other grader.
Yeah. And then you guys can split 2 and 2.
Okay, hey, I'm marking it off my inventory, so pick it up, or it will be forever lost.
Okay, I'll take the other regular.
Torian's gonna look if there's any stalls still open or like bars, taverns.
Definitely taverns still open. It's more of what are the if you're ever on a military base or something, they have the, what is it called? Where the people
Yeah.
go and have drinks.
Yeah.
It's more like that. So yes, there are
Yeah.
one in the main area that is obviously open where people who were allowed to have drink for the evening go to gather. So you're going to find a lot of legionnaires there. Let's call it, and I can use my random tavern. The Shining Shark in Cataloyan. It's a translation to Shining Shark.
Oh, maybe they got river sharks here.
Something like that. Did you make your
We're
way?
no longer clouds. And we can't be clouds anymore. That's over.
That's over, yeah.
Okay.
It's been long enough. Why, you want to become a cloud?
I was just checking.
We just look over and fucking Jabba's gone. We see a cloud going away from us.
Torian will kind of walk in to that bar and just kind of give nods to the soldiers who might look his way.
Everybody looks your way, especially your group as you walk in, but everybody smiles, and it's obvious that they can tell a warrior, somebody who's born to the sword. You get the feeling that most of the people, very much like the young man, that's their lot in life. Is they grow, they become a legionnaire, they get out after serving for so long, and they either take up the family business or move other places. And they nod and smile, and there's some servers that come around. They have pewter mugs filled with whatever ale might be the special of the day, as they slam it down on some of the tables. And it says in Cataloyan, she says, please find yourself wherever you can, or stand and I'll bring you something. Do you want something to drink?
I'm sorry, I don't speak Cataloyan.
As she
I translate.
quickly whisks by you, really not listening to what you just said. As she puts more drinks down, heads to the back, and another male server comes out and starts putting out more drinks, and he looks to you. Care for anything?
Did you say that in common?
Yes.
I looked to my friend. I didn't know if he wanted to stay or not. I was thinking of just getting something to maybe take back, but if you wanted to stay, well,
No. We've got places to stay, so just man, I can't do the accent tonight. We got places to stay. I'm just not gonna do it. We have places to stay, but I mean, we should get some food and drink, and then we can go back afterwards.
I'm sorry, we don't plan on staying long. I was just looking if you had any bottles for sale of Looking for your strongest bottle, pretty much.
Oh, the strongest bottle. That would be the sergeant over there. He usually keeps the strongest bottle. But I can get you something that we have. The Sergeant Tabaret, the young lady sitting right over there. Well, she looks young. She's probably 50, but her complexion, she.
And how many people are in this tavern right now?
About 30.
30.
85% of them are legionnaires. There's a few people that look like they've just gotten off being out in the selling things out in the square, grabbing some what looked like a late dinner and either water or watered down.
How much would a round cost?
A round of 30 people, that's say probably like 3 gold.
Okay. I'll thank the server. I'll see you before I leave. And I'll go walk up to the sergeant.
Okay.
Oh,
we'll be there.
as he walks away, I'm gonna find. Is there any entertainment happening right now? Any music?
Mm-mm. Nope, nothing yet.
I'm gonna see if they want me to play. We don't have to RP that out though. I know that Torin wants to go talk to the sergeant.
Okay. Well, you can make your way over to the bartender. There doesn't look like there's any particular person in charge except for the person that's telling people to serve the drinks and serve the food.
Nice. Okay.
As Torin, you head over to this sergeant. She has her almost ivory-colored fez with what looks like a red tassel hanging to the side that's set just to the left of her, and she looks like she's having a conversation with 2 other men, and there seems to be 2 places open at her table. And as she's having a conversation in Cataloyan, she looks and sees you approach and kind of takes you in and looks you up and down, notices the scars in the obvious areas of your person, and she says, "Welcome, Outlander. I don't meet many here in the interior of the Sare who look like you. You seem to be on some kind of mission, or you're very serious. Something I should be concerned of."
Hopefully not, Sergeant. Seems wherever I go, it seems I'm on a mission.
Does that include
nothing-
Alim, or at least my table?
Well, you could say that I'm on a mission to find the strongest bottle in this city.
She smiles. Well, it is no mystery that I typically order the strongest bottle that can be delivered here.
Would it
What,
be available for purchase?
Silas thinks to himself, "Damn it! I should have bought the love potion." Seeing all this happening right now.
For purchase, for a drink, or I can't part with the entire thing, but if you want to sit there and have a drink, perhaps we can play some cards, have a conversation. You can tell me where you're from, and I can tell you if you need to leave tonight, or if I let you stay until tomorrow.
I don't know about cards, but I'm more than willing to chip in my fair share for a few drinks.
Oh, okay. Well, please have a seat. So, you know my name. They call me Ta, for short. Well, at least the civilized people. Don't you let one of these here soldiers call me Ta. They'll be cleaning at the outhouse.
I'd expect nothing less, Sergeant.
So,
my name is Torin.
as you introduce yourself, she waves her finger over, and the lady server comes over, and she gives her like a 3 finger, and she brings over with 3 small like shot glasses, and she pulls a small tin flask, and she pours a drink and slides one casually over to you, and tips one back for herself, and sets the other one in front of her. Well met, Torin. So what brings you to the Shining Shark? Or, you're not from around here, so what brings you all the way out to Alim?
We're looking for, I have a friend who's quite interested in books, and we heard that a copy might be here in the city, so I'm not too interested, but, my friend's risked his life to save my own, So
That's an honorable friend.
he,
But like you, I'm not into books. Did you check with the abbot at the temple?
we did. That's actually where we're staying. It appears that the copy's no longer here, so we might have to head out in the morning. But figured we'd stop in and relax a little bit, and have a few
Well,
drinks. And
please.
the bartender told me that Sergeant Ta had the strongest bottle in all Alim. So
Well, it's in front of you. Are you going to drink it, or am I going to have to drink the second one before you drink the first one? It's typically how.
my apologies, Sergeant, and I'll toss it back.
And she takes the second one back and wipes her lips with her forearm a little bit and says, "Yeah, I'm not into books much either. So you had a friend that risked his life for you, huh? That is an honorable friend. I hope you keep him close to you."
He is, and while he's not close right now, he's safer than probably he would be on our travels. So
You're telling me
I
that
sleep.
danger follows you wherever you go? I find that hard to believe. Why would somebody want to come all these hundreds of miles into the middle of this freezing desert with purple on their heels? It's been quiet here. That's why this outpost grew into this town. I mean, it was an outpost for a while, and before you know it, the Legionnaires were having, their own families, and we created this room and board for them. I forget, I'm not really sure what they call it from where you're from, but I mean, it kind of grew organically from out here. Most of the people are somewhat related in some way to the Legionnaires.
Does she look like she's seen like any combat at all or anything?
You can make an insider perception check. Insight to see if she's talking in,
They're the
tones that you're
same,
used to.
so.
Or okay, let me see. You can't really get
Not bad.
can't really get a sense of if she's seen combat or not, but she has an easy manner about herself, very confident. Seeing you in your mithril full plate and, your gigantic sword with a gleaming pommel, but she doesn't seem intimidated by it. But you can't really she doesn't have any obvious scars.
I'll just respond back. Sometimes, well, I'm sure you're well aware that those who live by the sword tend to find blood, whether they want to or not.
I've heard that. I don't know if it's true. We just try to keep the brigands from harming any of the caravans that come through. The beasts that wander out of the desert, the giants. Try to keep them at bay. We haven't seen them giants in some time now, but I was just hired on. Well, I wouldn't hired on. Deployed here, I guess would be the best word. The last time we saw them around this parts. God, that was 25 years ago, it seems. No, it really was 25 years ago.
So, no need to worry then for your men and women under you then, at the moment.
Not at the moment. It's quiet out here. Not a lot of people make it out here, and I wouldn't say make it out here, but make their way out here. Just travelers, new soldiers, new recruits come out this way. But most nights you can find me here, right here in this chair, having whatever the swill they have. This stuff really costs a lot of money. I hope you're going to pay your fair share. And she reaches over and pours you a little bit more and pours herself too. And she throws one back and sets the other one in front of her and wipes her lips again. So why are you here? Where are you from?
Throw back the shot.
She nods approvingly.
I'm
Please,
definitely
continue.
not from Catalloy. That's for sure.
I can tell. You look like you're about 40.
I originally came down here from the northeast.
The northeast. Past the inn or further?
Past the inn. I came for the Jubilee, actually. It's quite the spectacle.
The Jubilee in the capital.
Yeah. It was definitely something I'll never forget.
I bet there was a show. There's a lot of presents, but we, at least my men, we don't like to go. Unless summoned. They have plenty of warriors. How was it? Was it a good time? I mean, please, you must be really pretty important, an Outlander and invited to the Jubilee.
Yeah, it was like I said. I mean, I'll never forget it. I feel like I've left a part of myself there in that city.
I hear that's what it's like. So you must be a royal from the Eastern Kingdoms? Is that, am I close or
No,
not so
no.
much? Ah,
I was an escort for
hmm.
a noble from there, so.
Insight check him. He's lying.
And a
Am I?
hired bodyguard, huh?
Yeah, you're a king.
Not when
You're-
I came down.
Oh, I see what you're trying to do.
I have
Okay.
not said a
Alright.
single lie yet this entire time.
All right. I see what you're doing. Okay. Yeah, a lie by omission is still a lie.
Is it? I'm answering the questions.
So, not the royal. You said an escort bodyguard. I can see that. A mercenary. You with a company, or you and your friends? And she gestures to Sylus as he's talking to the bartender. Was
We
that the other big man in your company? He looks like he could guard some bodies too.
he's a new friend, but he's proven himself quite useful. But no, we're not with any official company. We tend to get swept along where fate takes us. But
And it took you all the way out here in the middle of the desert.
wouldn't be the strangest place it's taken me, or the farthest in this desert. So
Fair enough. I've been here, I want to say, as a recruit. Came here about 20 years ago. My family's from Farah. Where's your family from?
oh, they're from a forest quite far from here. It's a small village. Most people haven't heard of it.
Part of
But
our
you
training
can't be
in
20
officer school.
years.
Yeah.
What, did you come here when you were just a little girl?
Her eyes narrow a little bit before relaxing, and she says, it's been, I think, going on my 45th year. So, went to school for leadership, whatever that means. And they sent me out here, and I've been here ever since. And it's been, like I said, when I first got here, there were some desert giants that managed to come close to some of the caravans and take care of some of the farms. And I recommended that we build some family barracks. And the town just started to grow a little bit from there. It's really not an actual town. It's more of, shall we say, a live-in outpost for me and my men and women.
So you know this area quite well.
You could say so. What were you doing 20 years ago?
I imagine I was being scolded by my mother for, actually, no, wait, 20 years ago? Probably being changed by my mother, to be quite honest.
Oh, okay. It's changed you from a boy into a man. I can understand that. That is a honorable quality of a mother. At some time, she must kick you out of the hen house and send you on your way.
Not quite. Let's just say I hadn't seen my first change of seasons 20 years ago.
She smiles and smacks one of the other gentlemen that are sitting there with her. And he says, it's another woman. Fatama, can you believe that? He says he was a youth 20 years ago. And she says, oh, indeed. Well, perhaps he had a rough life, you know. Sometimes when you become 20, you look 40. Sometimes when you're 55, you look like you know, 45 or so. She says, Ta says, so things do follow you around. It looks like you don't get much sleep, whether that's people waking you in the evening or the burden you carry. You're telling me you're a 20-year-old with those scars on your hands, the calluses, cracks in your skin around your eyes, and the perpetual frown. I ask again. I have nothing to worry about in my city that you are here. Is that fair? Is that fair to say?
From my knowledge, there's no threats to your city. I've heard rumors, of course, of things going on in the Empire, but I have no threat to your city. No.
Yeah. I hear the Empress is not doing so well. I'm a little concerned, of course. She's been ruler for the last 80 years. It's been quiet. Our legionary force has grown. People like me, women, have grown into leadership positions during her rule. What do you think about the illness that has befallen the Empress?
From what I've heard that happened to the royal family, I think that'd be hard to take for anyone, any mother or grandmother, royal or not, don't you think?
Well, this just isn't a person. This is the light herself. This is the Empress of Catal.
True. I can't say for certain our illness either way. I just hope that it passes and that Cataloi will have the strength of their light return.
She pulls out her flask again and goes to pour you another drink, but she pauses for a second and looks at you. Would you like another?
I'll have one if you're having one.
She'll give you one and she'll pour herself two, and she takes it back and says, so who would you see succeed the Empress should she fall ill and pass?
Oh, I don't think that's my place as an outsider to say.
But you were at the Jubilee, wishing her a happy birthday. Certainly you have enough influence, or at least you were with somebody with enough influence to have an opinion on what should befall this kingdom.
The person I was escorting wasn't from Cataloi as well, so.
But he is a
the
royal.
Intricacies and true.
He or she, I'm sorry.
But I'd assume that there is a line of succession here, so whoever's next in line should take their rightful place.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. She holds her little glass up for a toast.
And I'll take a drink and thank you, Sergeant Todd. That was quite the drink. I'm sure I'll be feeling it in the morning.
Oh, don't you worry. You'll be feeling it, well, through the evening into the morning. It's made partially from desert lily.
Of course.
Stuff will kill you, you know, right?
Oh, I've heard that before. I'll have to keep an eye out.
All right, well,
and
she taps the table and says, all right, your fair share.
Of course. You said this was quite expensive. How much did it
Indeed.
cost you?
How much is it worth to you?
For the drinks and the conversation, and I'll pull out a platinum piece. Put it on the table.
She
Worth quite a bit.
She puts her hand down, looks back over to you, and sort of narrows her eyes. Give me an insight check.
Oh, it's good tonight.
15. That's
2
good enough.
15s in a row.
She sits back and holds her hands on the table, and well, she looks over to the other person. Well, Fatama, it's not been that good of conversation. Very well, Torin. Have a
So
good
did I
evening.
get the feeling that wasn't enough?
Yes, you do. As she
So
says,
before I leave, I'll put out another. Say, I'll make it 5 platinum total.
Damn.
she takes it, opens her pouch, puts it in. Thank you for the conversation, Torin. Should you need anything
Sergeant.
in Alim that I can control, I'll be here most evenings, enjoying less fruitful conversations.
Sergeant.
May the light be with you, Torin.
and also with you. And I'll walk over to the bartender as well.
Okay.
And pull out another 3 platinum.
And in the meantime, we move to Sylus as Torin makes his way to speak with what the serving person said, who the sergeant might be. You walk up to the bartender. Bartender is a female. She says, "Hey, what can I get you?" Very gruff and terse. Her hair pulled back into what looks like a braided bun with a chopsticks stuck through it. She's wiping down the mess that the legionnaires are making on her bar.
Well, evening. It's more about what I can get you. So, let me just say, are you one of the people that migrated here to the outpost, or are you a retired legionnaire yourself?
Someone needed to open up a place to take care of all this riffraff. I knew what I was getting into, but I have been retired for some time. So what can I get you? Food, drink, both?
I will definitely order some for my companions, but I was wondering if you wouldn't mind a little bit of entertainment this evening. We're staying over in the city, but we're here just for a bit. And, I always feel terrible about it if I don't at least play a little ditty whenever I come into a tavern.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the men and women here would enjoy something like that. It's been a long time since they had somebody who can play well. You can play well, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, so you play, I give you a couple of drinks, some free, meal of the day, and then you can collect any tips that these legionnaires can provide you.
I do appreciate it. I'll just go get set up. I'll find a place. But any alcohol you can send to the table. I don't drink when I'm on duty, but I will take some food later. So I do appreciate that. This feels like a bagpipes crowd. What do you think? I'm just kidding. I'm gonna use the loot.
Whatever you like. Gotta get back to it. So.
Yep.
Some food.
Thank you, man.
I can bag it up for you. If you don't want to take it now, wherever you're staying, you can take it with you. And then
Appreciate it.
If that big man eats, he's going to have to be charged twice. You understand that, right?
Well, you can. Yeah, no, I understand.
All right. Good luck.
He can afford it. I look at Jamba, who has no money. He can afford it. And then I move up and I get my loot out and I say, "Evening all. We're new in the city, just passing through, but I thought I would see if I can play something for you. We'll see if the gods grant my fingers the providence to give you some fine music. You seem like a great bunch, so I'm gonna give you something a little exciting. We don't need to bring the mood down. So please, you don't need to focus on me. Continue with your time. So I'll just accompany the tone of the room."
And you start hearing the claps and the squeaking of wooden chairs on wooden floors as it turns around and everybody starts to face the room. And Torin, as you're having this conversation with the sergeant, you hear everybody start to turn and they start pointing their chairs to Torin and they're yelling out in Catalonian that you might not understand, but Sylus, you understand. And they start saying, "Hey, play this, play this, play this, play this. Do you know this? Do you know that?" And they start just hollering out at you to play all these Catalonian songs, most of them upbeat. Play Wonderwall. All that good stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll play the upbeat song Wonderwall. No, I'll just pick a couple because I know Catalonian music, so I'll pick a couple upbeat ones and just start playing them. Try and keep the crowd happy.
All right, so we're gonna do a skill challenge. We're gonna do 3 successes before 3 failures.
All right.
And so it'll be performance checks as you start to play your first song. What is the song called?
This one's "Don't Eat the Desert Lily."
All right. And everybody's like, yeah, and everybody's like, boo. The guy who requested it was hollering,
"Don't eat the yellow sand."
Don't eat the desert yellow. And then you're like, I'll play that one for you. And he, and you start to play. Go ahead and make a performance check. It's going to be
All right, let me
relatively
click a button.
easy because these are. Oh yeah, that's
Oh, beautiful.
easily. If it was Pathfinder, it'd be a critical success. You start playing and people are banging along, and, hitting their pewter mugs on the tables and singing along to it with you. Let me
Awesome.
see.
Caliban's heckling.
Oh, I wouldn't expect
Of
nothing
course.
less.
Summon the bats.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and give me another performance check as you switch from that song to the next song. Oh, even better.
Another 18.
And everybody's
Wow, I'm
like
on
getting
fire.
into it, and then people are starting to clear tables, and you hear them push across the wooden floor, and the wooden legs of the tables squeak as they move, and then they start doing a dance where they're facing each other, and they're going down in the splits, and then kicking their legs out, hoi, 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 and they're really getting fired up about this point, and the servers look like they're moving between the crowds significantly faster, as if there is a heightened sense of people are having a good time, so they're ordering more drinks, ordering more food.
Nice.
All right, two successes and zero failures. Give me that last performance check.
Oh.
Ooh, you start playing a song and you know it in a couple different languages, and so you start playing the song and everybody's like, "Oh, that's a terrible song. That's a terrible song. Why did you? That song is terrible. Why didn't you ask him to play it? That is horrible. He doesn't even know it. That's clear." So that's two successes and one failure.
All right.
15. That's what
Ooh,
you needed.
15.
So you start playing
Oh,
another
thank
song,
goodness.
and it's a little less. It's a little less upbeat, and it's a little more sad. And you see some of the drunk legionnaires. They start, putting their heads down and almost crying in their ales, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's beautiful, beautiful." And you end your set and you start walking back, and some of the legionnaires are coming up to you and they're handing you some of their change, and one of the guys is crying and says, "Oh, I lost my wife, and that was our favorite song. We got married to that song. I really appreciate it." And he's going to hand you 10 gold. "Please take this.
Oh, wow.
This was fantastic. That was amazing." So all in all, you make 20 gold tip
Wow.
from all the legionnaires who have nothing to do but save their money and get drunk.
Not bad. This is gonna play for all the Twitty bread that Jabba's gonna need.
Yep.
That works
And,
out with what I'm about to do too. So
Yep.
And as the night wears on, it's getting close to 11:30, 12 at night, and slowly the people start making their way out of the Shiny Shark Outpost Tavern, and the crowd starts thinning out, and you see Torin, you see the sergeant make her way out and look back over her shoulder and kind of nod, and her and her entourage head out for the evening. And before you know it, it's just a few legionnaires here. They're drunk or on their way to being passed out. You're having a conversation with the
what I was
sergeant.
gonna do is, that whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so people were leaving while we were having a conversation. Then okay.
So you were having a conversation over that period of time while the show is going on. But as the night rounds down, there are a few people who remain. So let's rewind a little bit. Caliban, is there anything you want to do while Sylus is singing and Torin's having a conversation?
No.
Okay. How about you, Jamba?
Jamba's currently on his 7th plate of food and has yet to pull out a piece of money.
So Jamba's over there eating.
Continue.
Sylus is making some tips as the night starts to clear out. Torin, you were saying you wanted to do something?
Well, yeah. As soon as the conversation with the sergeant was done, and I got up to leave, and they were still at the table, I was just going to go up to the bartender, and whoever's left, I was just going to pay for like 2 rounds for the soul,
Okay.
for everyone left in the tavern.
Roll
Nice,
me
nice.
3d10.
3d10.
Yeah, roll me 3d10. Okay, it'll cost you 4 gold to pay for the round, as most of the people have either been asked to go to sleep because they have to be up in the morning by the sergeant's entourage, or they've retired for the evening. So it picks, but there's about
I'll just hand
4 gold.
the bartender server a platinum and say, for the rounds, for my friends' meals over here as well, and then you can keep the rest of the change.
All right. Thank you very much. Gonna be around all week?
We might come back at the end. We'll be back at the end of the week. I don't know if we're gonna stay the entire time, but we'll be back at the end of the week for sure.
We'll be here. And as the night winds down, it's getting close to midnight. What would the party like to do? Head out from the Shining Shark Tavern. You find yourself there towards the end of the evening. Torin paying for a couple rounds of those people who were left. And it's slightly after midnight in the town of Alim. What would you guys like to do?
Sleep.
I think we're just gonna head back to the Temple of Thoth.
Okay, and as you head back in the evening light, and people thank you for the music, Sylus. Thank you for the conversation and the rounds of drinks, Torin, and the bartenders and the servers thank Jamba for eating all their food, and you guys make your way out of the tavern and head towards the Temple of Thoth, where the abbot is asleep, waiting for you, kind of in the study that faces the door, and you poke your head in. Some of the candles have gone out, and the abbot has left his lantern on, and you can see him not through the window, but there's an open area that looks into his study, and he's knocked out, and looks like there's a couple wooden cups of his spice wine that he's tries to either use as coffee or sleeping aid. He's somewhat knocked out. You guys head in. How do you want to approach him?
I'm gonna use prestidigitation to just start lighting the candles back up.
Oh, nice. You see Sylus go from candle to candle and start lighting them back up as they've gone out. Every few candles. You do find at the bottom there are extra candles for those that have burnt out. You can replace them if you'd like and then light them up.
Yeah, just try and help him.
Yep.
Help him out since he's had a long day. He's an old man. So, I don't know. Torin.
Yeah.
I imagine he won't react negatively to a knight in shining armor waking him up. It might be his might be what he's dreaming about, if we're being honest. So let's see if he can lead us to our rooms. And I'm just gonna continue lighting candles.
I'll go over and kind of gently put my hand on his arm, shoulder area, and kind of, Abbot.
He comes awake. Torin. Oh. He wipes his head a little bit. Must have fallen asleep. Torin, right?
Yes, Abbot.
Wow, man, it's probably pretty late. Would you, He stands up and rubs his eyes and stretches his arms a little bit, and his joints creak and crack. Would you like me to show you to your rooms?
Yes, please. We don't want to keep you up any longer, so you can head to your room as well.
I was just resting my eyes. Please, right this way. And he walks through the main area, and he looks and sees that all the candles are lit, and he kind of smiles and nods to himself, and thinking, wow, maybe I didn't fall asleep that long. And heads back, and there are separate rooms, very small, that have a straw bed, covered in a harsh linen and what looked like straw stuffed in pillowcases, and there's a small table next to them, and each one has a candle. Anywhere you'd like. We don't have many acolytes here. Is there any time I should wake you in the morning?
I'd imagine we'd be up at sunrise.
Very well. I'll be sure to make sure you're...
Whatever 8 hours from now is.
Yep. And as you take your evening's rest inside this temple of Thoth, in the middle of the Sare, out in the desert of the town of Alim, the night goes by without event, and you guys wake rested, ready to go the next morning. Or let's call it late morning.
Warren would have gone back for the pitcher of spiced wine to bring to his room.
Are you gonna wake up in the middle of the night and go get the booze?
No. As soon as he showed us the room,
Uh-huh.
Like how Torin would have went back for the pitcher.
Okay. Okay. So just for clear, you're gonna take the abbot's personal booze from his study and back into your room.
I thought he left it. I thought he had it on the table.
He
Like,
did have it
in
on
the-
table like he was drinking it.
But it's his. It's his personal bottle
I was
of
gonna
wine.
leave. I was gonna leave some platinum, but I am taking the bottle. I'm taking the pitcher and I'm leaving 5 platinum in its
Fair
place.
enough. Good enough. As you guys are
That's funny.
resting down for the evening, and you hear Torin quietly make his way back out and come back with a pitcher and a couple drinks. He's not that quiet. And you guys bed down for the evening. You'll wake the next morning. Some of you feeling better than others, as Torin seems like he's had a bit much to drink. It's been a long time since you had something that harsh, and I'm not talking about the Abbott's spiced wine.
Mm-hmm.
But you wake up the next morning, late morning. It's approaching 11 a.m. What would you like to do?
Twisty bread.
Might be the only way to soak up whatever you drank. You should have eaten one before you went to sleep, for being honest.
I look at the crumbs on my tunic. I think I did.
You better not have taken any of Jamba's supply. He will
Mm.
gut you.
It's a good day to die.
Oh no.
So we're heading to Cataloi and then to the Mon. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, Calban said something about a
Yeah.
crystal ball.
That's the plan.
All right. Shall we head out? I left money for the abbot already, so I think we can just go.
We should probably get some crispy bread for the road.
Mm-hmm.
Twisted bread.
All
Uh,
of us.
Jamba,
Yes.
you ever been to Cataloi?
No.
All right. Well, this should be fun.
They don't have twisted bread.
Like I said, we can talk to him about setting up a franchise.
You collect your belongings early in the morning. You get ready. You head out the western gates of this outpost town, past the palisades, to where you feel comfortable turning into mist. And Caliban starts his incantation. Is there anything you want to do before you take off?
By Twisted.
You want to get some twisted bread?
is coming with us.
Yeah.
Twisted bread is
All right.
coming with us.
You head out of the Temple of Thoth back towards the market square. The friendly vendor is there for you. We made extra batter for this gentleman here and for some of you. Would you like some for your trip to wherever you might be going?
Yeah. No, we're going to Cataloi. I look over at Caliban. That should take about 6 hours, right? So we're gonna need. I look at each of us and I count. We're gonna need about 20 twisted bread, I think. We could wait while you cook it, of course.
I made some extra. You said you would be back today, and well, here you are. And I have a whole bunch, so I figured twice as much as you had yesterday. So I have. You said 20. Okay. She starts to count it off and wrap it in individual paper/cacti wrappings, and then she has a nice basket for you, and she hands it over to
thank
you.
Can you let your cousin and your nephew know that we're gonna be back in about a week to get the rest of the potions that we commissioned? So just let them know we'll be back. And we did want to discuss with you the possibility of you setting up a franchise in Cataloi. They do not have twisted bread like this there, so there might be an untapped market. There's definitely a lot more people in Cataloi. You might have to get a shop.
Make an insight check.
That's a 12, I think. Yeah, 12.
She looks nervous when you mention Cataloi, but that's all you get from it. Oh, that would be great.
Interesting.
That would be great. Well, okay. 20 twisty breads, copper, 10. That would be 2 silver.
I gave her a gold piece.
Her eyes go a little wide, and she thanks you profusely. My nephew
No.
thanks you very much for the footlocker. He said it'd be very useful when he joins the Legionnaires next year.
Yeah, something to grow into, you know? You alright?
Oh, that's a lot of money. I might just close early and head to the Shining Shark and get something really nice to eat. But my family
Yeah, no,
thanks
treat
you.
yourself. Treat yourself, but don't, keep doing your thing. This is an amazing little treat you've designed. And I hand out 5 twisty breads to each of us. Yeah, we'll be back in a week. It's good to meet you.
Oh, my cousin said that he should be ready tomorrow, if that makes a difference.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll be back sooner then.
All right, may the light be with you. Thank you so much.
With you too. Yep. Well, that was a little weird. I say, I'm like, walk back to the group, and I hand out the twisty bread to each person. A little weird. She's a little nervous when I brought up the capital. Huh. Wonder what that was about. Torn, you notice anything when you were having a chat with that there sergeant when I was playing? I noticed you having a little spirited conversation over there.
She seemed interested to know who I was, where I was from, and she did ask who I thought should succeed the throne, which I thought was an odd question. Us being, foreigners,
Huh.
Well, I mean, you're technically from Cataloi, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm from around these parts, but still, I mean, I'm not really of the Empire. I just live in it. That's interesting. Why would a sergeant in the middle of an outpost over here be concerned about? I mean, it is, the Empire is the Empire. Of course, they're worried about who's gonna run it. Strange. Well, maybe something to think about when we come back here. The potion seller, he said he might actually have them done tomorrow. But we could stop by later whenever we're done at the Mon. I imagine we shall succeed against Set and the Shadow Dome with no loss of life. I'm glad everyone else is also excited and sure we are gonna survive.
It's a good day to die, right,
I'm
Jumbo?
sure I'll survive.
But yeah, I'll probably survive too. I can just magic myself away. Well, I imagine we're like walking out of the city now.
Yeah.
You gonna do the Misty thing?
Yes, I will do the Misty thing. Put that in
Nice.
air quotes.
Appreciate it. It's a hell of. Ooh, never moved so fast in my life.
And as the magic encompasses you, you change to a mist form and you follow the main highway, one of the main roads that lead to the capital that increasingly gets more clean and well kept as you get closer to Cataloi, to the city of runes, and you come over the familiar side. As you come over one of the larger dunes, you see this gigantic metropolis, 10 miles away, and it you could swear that the outskirts of the city spread out for 5 miles as the pyramid sits up on the apex overlooking the long swim, and you guys head down, getting closer and closer to the walls. Are you going to just go in there misty form and then change back? Or are you going to change outside of the city? What are you planning to do?
From our previous experience, how much commotion do we think it would cause if we did it into the city?
We're gonna do it in the Empress's bedroom.
Knowing you probably don't think it would. I mean, people would certainly talk about it, but you don't think that there would be any repercussions.
Then might as well
in
just
the
go
city.
directly. Just go straight to the Spinal Rainbow then.
As you make your way through the lower city and the dirty, poor parts of the city, and into the upper city that's walled off, where you see the royal guards, and knowing as you continue further up to the pyramid that the palace will be walled off by royal guards, and nobody who isn't of royal blood is allowed to either live and or work in the palace. You spin off to the right before you head up towards the steps of towards the palace, and find yourself in front of the Spinal Rainbow, and the prior to Risa and her husband. And you come undone from your form. It's took you what 2 hours to get there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it takes you about actually about 4 hours to get there. And you find yourself there in the middle of the afternoon. Come out of your mist form, and you hear Risa kind of gasp from within, and she peeks her head out. Oh, it's you. Oh, welcome. We have your what you've ordered. Paid for in advance. Come in, please. Would you care for anything to drink?
No, I'm good.
Don't worry.
I just flew in, and boy, are my arms tired.
She laughs. Of course. So you had the crystal ball, you said.
The crystal ball and the agate.
Ah, that is correct. Okay. She goes to the back, and her husband comes out. Oh, great to see you. We thought we might see you sooner, but sure you're a busy man. Risa will be with you momentarily. And she comes back out with this large box, and she opens it up delicately and makes a show of putting this crystal ball, almost perfect, this perfect sphere, on a what looks like velvet pillow covered in velvet cloth. Will this work for you?
That will do.
All right, perfect. And you paid for this already, right?
I paid for half of it. I need
Okay.
to pay her another 500 gold.
All right. So she says, "We appreciate you putting down payment. Do you have the rest of the payment?"
Oh, and
we
the
can-
and the agate I haven't paid anything on, so that's 1,000.
And she takes another box from underneath the counter, and she puts it out, and she opens it up. Does this meet with your satisfaction?
Yeah, those will do.
Perfect. So that would be, you say, 1,500 left remaining on your tab, or at least your bill from the down payment.
Right, 500 for the ball and 1,000 for the gem.
Perfect. All right. And she takes the gold and she wraps it up and hands it to her husband as he walks into the back. And of course, have you had any conversation with the royals about where to get their jewelry for the upcoming Jubilee? It is next month.
I haven't spoken with them recently, but get right on that.
All right, perfect. Well, you know where to find the best jewelry, magical, mundane, or otherwise. Thank you, Sir Caliban. It's a pleasure doing business. Is there anything that we can get you or any of your... Oh, you're a large one, aren't you? And she looks towards Jamba. We have some, I don't know, maybe some fine polished bone to go around your necklace. That he looks towards you, Torn. She looks towards you, Torn. A new companion or a bodyguard? My goodness.
She's speaking in common.
She's speaking in common.
Okay, guys assumed I didn't know what anybody was saying. I was just staring at people. All right. No, I only wear bones that I earned.
Good bodyguard. That's good to have, Torn.
It is.
Okay.
You said the Jubilee's coming up soon, yes?
That is correct. Sooner than what might be expected.
Why is that?
Haven't you heard?
We just got back in. I was just about to say, has there been any news since we've been gone?
Rumor is that the Empress is really sick. So, should she pass, the heiress, the beautiful Alana, and her handsome consort, will be coronated as rulers. So
a new Jubilee then.
Well, typically, I mean, we haven't had one, but my great-grandmother said in years, the Empress, rest her soul, the light of our light of these desert cities, Lakeisha, she was ruler for, I think, close to 100 years.
So this is out of game. Are they talking about a different Jubilee than the one we went to?
No, they're talking about the same Jubilee that might come earlier because the Empress is ill. And if she passes, then there's a special coronation that will happen
Jubilee.
for the
Yeah,
new
okay.
empress.
Okay. Well, I hope the Empress good health.
As do we. Don't forget to tell them where you got this nice stuff.
Of course, we mentioned it to Her Highness Alana already, but we'll make sure to mention it again.
Oh, that is very gracious of you. Thank you so much. Of course, should you need anything, you know where to find us.
Of course. May the light be with you.
May the light be with you. May the light of Alana be with you. And you complete your transaction, you head out of the Spinal Rainbow and find yourself in the upper district of the city. What would you like to do?
Well, I really want to go chew Fiddy's ass for letting that book get stolen, but
I don't know if we want to go to the. I don't know if we want to go to the palace right now.
Do we need a race to Thamon if we're trying to get back there today?
I think.
You can get there in
3 hours.
about an hour, actually. It's about 50,
Yeah, it's really
60
close.
miles. Yeah.
So you,
on the one hand, we might want to tell them what's going on in Thamon. On the other hand, we kind of lost Killian.
Yeah.
time for
That's
lunch?
gonna be an awkward part of the
Yeah,
conversation.
really bad part of the conversation.
Mhm.
Unless we keep...
Well, we
Yeah.
didn't lose him exactly. We know where he is. We just don't have him on us.
Honestly, if they can't tell that a major city in their empire has been covered in a giant magical dark barrier a couple hours away from their capital,
Well, honestly, they didn't really seem to know what was going on in Thamon before that happened either. So
I say we deal with the problem, then tell them the news. And if we die, we don't have to worry about it.
oh, I don't think they'll kill us about this. They might chew us out about it.
No, I'm saying if we die
Oh,
in
I mean
Thamon,
dying
we
Thamon.
don't have to worry about
Mhm.
telling them either way. So
Yeah, it's a conversation we don't need to have.
it's kind of a win-win.
We could
Will
just
there be
send,
fighting?
perhaps we could just send a message to them, telling them, by the way, Thamon covered in giant evil dark cloud that won't
That
let
might be a
anybody
good
in or
idea.
out. FYI, you know.
Can you send any sort of message,
Mhm.
magical messages?
Didn't really prepare to do that.
I can do it if we get within 120 feet.
Cloud,
I mean, if
find
you-
a window.
Well, you know,
Search for
if we can get in and out of the city, so I could always send them one tomorrow.
True.
Yeah, that's true. All I gotta do is play a song, and we open a door.
I mean, as long as they don't object to a small animal delivering it.
I don't see why not.
As you're having this conversation outside of the Spinal Rainbow, I assume you guys are going to turn back into mist and head back to Thamon, it sounds like?
Yes,
Do
sir.
they buy me lunch? Yes.
It's been 4 hours. You already ate all your bread?
I ate the bread before you turned me into a cloud. You think I would have trusted you not to?
Oh my god.
No. You know what cloud bread would be like.
Do we have a time? Do we have a moment to grab some lunch from a
You
cafe
can-
here before we leave?
If you want.
Well, I'm asking if we have time to do that and then fly to the mom.
I've seen
about
the
an
way
hour?
he eats. Yeah, we probably have the time.
Just get it to go.
Just get a large piece of roasted meat and have him eat real quick before we turn into a cloud.
Jumbo's Bam Bam now? What's going on? He's going hand over on his horse like.
Yeah, and you can find yourself one of the taverns in the upper city. As you order a side of beef, it'll cost you a gold piece because you're in the upper city. Pass it to Jamba, who looks like he's eating just a chicken leg.
Got it.
Just this big hammock of pork or whatever you want it to be, Jamba. I don't know your eating preference.
Leg of pork sounds fun.
And you make short work of it while the rest of the party sips from their waters and their light lunches. And I'm assuming in the middle of this Upper District Tavern in the middle of the roads. You turn into mist and quickly head south towards Thamon across the bridge that spans a good mile into the city of Thamon. But before you find yourself on the outside of the Dark Dome, what would you like to do?
Guess we land and I play some music and we get back in the city and find our way back to our little underground rebel base and
Yep.
And try and find this blonde-haired individual that has the book.
As Sylus plays the music, Caliban, you play along too, but only to learn the nuances of the song. The song of opening opens the portal for Sylus, and you step through into the perpetual night, turning yourself back into mists before you make your way into the Righteous Boar. You find yourself in front of the Righteous Boar, and you apparate back into your individual selves, and you pull the door open, and the two bodyguards are there, more armed than they have in the past, and silently, through the aura of silence, you make your way into the Righteous Boar, and Yazid's there with Miller, and they're having a conversation with Mariele, and Yazid looks up and sees you. His seat always faces the door, and he tells his comrades, Miller and Mariele, that, they're back, and he, please, come sit. You
Suppose we
make your
come
way
sit.
into the area, and he waves to the main bartender who sits at this long bar at the northern end of the room. Get some food for this group. Would you like anything to eat or drink? I'll bring it anyways. You can eat it if you want. And they start bringing you a drink and food out there. And
I know Champa's hungry.
Yazid says, "So, what is the word? How do things go out there?"
I look at Caliban.
Well, mixed bag.
Yeah.
The book wasn't there.
You
But-
know a Dareyeth
Yeah.
Berevan?
And you see Yazid and Miller both look at Mariele, like they don't hide it. They just both look like right at her, and she says, she breathes in kind of deeply and rubs the bridge of her nose. "I know a man. Give me a little while." And she stands up.
We need Dareyeth specifically.
She stands up and leaves her food, and she heads out the front door of the Righteous Boar. She'll be back momentarily. It's kind of a touchy subject, Mariele. That Dareyeth is, well, sort of her brother and sort of not her brother. It's kind of a touchy subject. They've fallen out over time, mainly about what we're doing and what he's doing to help us what we're doing. But she should be back in 30 minutes. Please, have some food.
So he's helping out the cause as well, or he's working against it?
No, he's I wouldn't say helping nor hindering. He's kind of doing, well, I can't speak for him. I can only hear what Mariele says when she's angry about he's not doing enough and he's not helping enough and he could be doing more because of his power, etc. But I'll let her explain it. It's a touchy subject, and would I say he's a part of our side of the resistance? No, but would I say he's working for Lord Azamala? I would say no.
Well, that's something.
And an hour goes by, and the perpetual darkness out there belies the time. It's closing in on 6 p.m. as Mariele comes back through, and she stands between you and Yazid. "Okay, are you ready? You've had your meal? Please follow me. I can take you to him."
Alright.
Let's go.
Let's go. And instead of leaving out the front door, you lead out the back through some alleyways, and she takes you through a similar nondescript door that Razana's used. And you find yourself weaving through areas of the labyrinth and network below the city, avoiding some of the sewer areas. And within 2 hours' time, you find yourself coming up from this darkened area. She pushes open a door and she says, "Well, right this way then. Come." And a dark tower stands on the eastern side of the Termatinat, not far from the Temple of Thoth. And by the time you reach the quiet avenue, perpetual twilight hangs over the streets, providing an unfamiliar sensation. One as if you're being watched. You arrive at the tower, or a tower, and she just stops and crosses her arms and kind of looks at her feet and taps her toes a little bit. And the tower appears worn and in ill repair. Dead vines cling to the worn stones like long dead fingers, trying to climb up from below. The weeds grow wildly amidst the piles of rubble that had tumbled down from the tower's crumbling buttresses. And the high windows look out over the dark city like empty eyes. A sense of dread hangs over this place, a mantle of dusty silence and decay. It looks like it's crumbling. You don't hear any creaks or cracks. Within moments, you hear the sound of a heavy iron bolt being drawn from within, and a door swings open where a moment ago there had been only a blank wall. Golden torchlight spills out onto the street, and a man clad in a simple but expensive-looking robe of pearl gray stands in the doorway. He's of thin build and height, his face lost in the shadows of a cowl. The man stands silent and unmoving for long moments, then lifts his hand and slowly pulls back the robes of a heavy hood. Almond-shaped golden eyes stare back at you as his pointed ears poke from beneath his long golden hair. The elven man says, "Please, come with me." Minutes later, you find yourself sitting in the study of Dareyeth Berevan, the Elven Mage, in an octagonal chamber at the top of the tower. Remembering the mess that Fiddle made in the secret library of the palace, you think a mage's work chamber would be a dark and cluttered place, littered with stacks of moldering scrolls and myriad jars filled with foul concoctions or even goldfish. However, Dareyeth's study is surprisingly clean. Neatly kept bookshelves line the walls, and intricate rugs cover the floors. A small fire burns in the hearth, and many candles bathe the room in a comfortable, warm glow. The air is sweet, with the faint, dusty fragrance of dried herbs, and the familiar desert lily that beckons you to a vision, a lover, an enemy. Dareyeth sits at an uncluttered table of polished rosewood, sipping his wine calmly, his features fine and noble, his golden hair falling about his thin shoulders. His golden eyes are cold and calculating, and you find it disturbing to gaze at him for any great length of time. They seem to bore into you, searching. He finally says, "You have come seeking something?" And that's where we'll end this week's session.